This year, on an all-new Part 2 of Idiot Royale, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Join us for Savantworthy Game of the Year in this year's biggest train wrecks, featuring host Ryan Wolf, Pokemaster Troy Osborne, Philbo Swaggins, Sammy the Babby, the Trash Man, and Colin friggin' Giffey.
It's time to do.
Can we get some Yugi?
I'm warning you. Don't fuck with me.
When I say it, it sounds cool. When you say it, it sounds like shit.
Come here and teach this guy a lesson, eh? Let's go!
We'll see how communities collide on Call of Duty, because those communities are pretty toxic.
Okay, well, you guys are fucking wrong.
Fucking idiots! How many times do I have to sit you all down and explain?
Get to the chopper! No, it's shot down.
I'm a gamer first and foremost, and I'm a worker second.
Jesus Christ, Sam, you fucking lost your mind.
I'm here. I'm on the podcast now.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What the fuck are you doing? You made every motherfucking mistake you could have possibly fucking made to get here. Is this just the end?
This is the end. It's the end game.
Welcome, everybody, to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. We are live from Savant Studios. We are bringing you Idiot Royale 2020. This is part 2 episode.
Part 2.
Part 2. So if you haven't heard part 1, go back and listen to part 1.
Here's a recap.
That was it. That's all we just opened a few
we go.
cans.
You're popping the
Thank
cap.
you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Joining me today, I have
Pokemaster Troy Osborne here.
Pokemaster Troy Osborne. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next,
Philbo Swaggins!
Philbo Swaggins.
A wizard, and a wizard is never late.
Except you are. Two
Precisely on time.
2 hours. Sam was late 2 hours.
I'm crying
Okay.
on the inside.
Next,
The Trash Man.
Trash
Austin.
Man, Austin Torres. Thank you, Austin.
Yo, what up, Hove? It's Colin freaking Giffey. We'll be back on the pod this week.
Back on the pod, Colin freaking Giffey joins us. So, quick recap of last week's episode. We discussed best story and we discussed best visuals. So we talked about a handful of games. Best story was in
Toy Story.
3-1 order. Number 3, Cyberpunk. Number 2, Moons of Madness. Number 1, Nexomon. And best visuals, number 3, Nexomon. Number 2, Tell Me Why. And number 1, Demon's Souls Remake. So, if you want to hear those discussions, like we said, go back to part 1. We are here to argue a list of 18-ish games left, I think, on the list. These are all games that came out in 2020, and we are sitting down in 2021 to hash out which of those should be in our top 5. So
There will be
all of
blood
us,
and murder.
There will be blood, there will be murder, there will be arguments. People might be hurt by things.
Already am.
This has nothing to do with Game of the Year. We're just going to start fighting each other.
Oh, my heart's beating a little loud.
One. Right.
So, the list stands as Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk 2077, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War,
Thank you for not saying the colon.
Call of Duty Warzone, Saints Row 3 Remastered, The Complex, Nexomon Extinction, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Star Wars
Morales.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron,
Selling chips, Morales.
Can you get me some Morales? Please.
Rogue Squadron,
Squadron. Star Wars Squadron.
okay, Demon's Souls Remake,
All right.
can't even get to the list.
Almost
Animal
done.
Crossing New Horizon,
Horizon.
Tetris Effect Connection, Super Mario 35 and Among Us
2
are
hours later.
Among
fucking games that made the list here. So
Super Mario.
Super Mario
So,
35.
like I said, what we're going to do here is I don't know where we want to start, but we're going to hash out, argue what we want to be our top 5 and whittle these down. So who wants to start?
I think Pro Skater 1 and 2 should leave.
Okay.
Nope. Was it glitchy?
Maybe
I just want to
not
target Ryan
a
right now.
great one, but if you want to go, let's go,
Dude, it's
motherfucker.
literally just a
Is it-
remake, and there's no story to the game. It's
What
literally
does it
just
matter if there's a story?
beat
It's
your
not-
high,
it wasn't
beat your high
nominated
score
for best story.
Yeah, well, I want fucking Flappy Bird to be Game of the Year.
It wasn't made in 2020.
Well, I want somebody made
it
a
made in 2020.
someone made a Flappy Bird using GTX graphics, and that I think that should win because it's just a game you beat your highest score on. It was a remake. I think you should win.
What game was it?
Flappy
You want to
Bird.
put that on here?
Flappy Bird, yeah, go ahead.
And number
I
one.
I just-
Bird on there. I want to put laser tag on.
I just don't think remakes.
2019's Game of the Year laser tag
Those games already had a chance of getting Game of the Year, and I don't think that making another game should
in
make it.
'94.
Yeah, but still, I mean, regardless, like it's still. We've already freaking seen
Okay,
it.
let's
I don't know.
Let's fucking start. I have
He has notes
I have
on this.
notes about Tony
Okay, go
Hawk's
ahead.
Pro Skater
Go
and
ahead.
why it should be on this list.
So no, it's
Wheels
not
on
Tony
the
Hawk's
board
Underground
go
2.
round
That's
and
why it
round.
should not
Can I
be
go
on the
first?
list.
Can I go
Go
first?
ahead. Yeah.
We're old. You're not, and we really like
I
this
grew
game
up
back
playing
in the
this
game.
game. I grew up playing this game, but I like Tony Hawk's Underground 2 more. If they
So-
remade Tony Hawk's Underground 2, I would understand why it wouldn't be Game of the Year.
I think this
It
game
already had its chance.
gloriously recreates the magic from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Okay.
It does it in a $40 package,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Jeez.
All of the character creation and customization is super robust. There are a million fucking ways you can make your skater look like you. Yes, Sam.
Is there the same music from the first one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
and
this is
new
going to be
stuff.
really hard. then.
99% of the music, they got like one track.
not
that's
99.
Well, they got like
Really?
sicko mode
Yeah,
in there.
they've
or
got
something.
more tracks.
Yeah,
than
they
the
added new
original,
stuff.
But they have the original 24, or I think there was 25 tracks in the original game. There are 49 tracks in this game, including 24 from the original game.
That's going to be really hard to beat. I really that.
So-
Hawk's Underground 2 soundtrack was better.
That was on my list. The music was on my list. So, like, not just with going back to the customization, you can do your attire, your physical appearance, tattoos, your board, the trucks, the wheels. Like, all of that
real
stuff
life.
is customizable, just like real life. Thank you.
we should play this game in VR.
All of the in-game items are earned. You do not buy them with external money. Like, you cannot buy them with extra
Well,
money.
if you say that, we have to get rid of all the EA games on this list.
Yeah.
Is there any?
Actually, I don't think there are
Star
any
Wars
EA
Rogue
games.
Squadron.
Oh, Rogue Squadron.
Just take it out.
Just take it out. Take it out. So there aren't loot boxes. There's no
There's no way to.
bullshit like
Yeah.
that where it seems predatory to the player or anything like. It's all earned by things that you do in the game.
Ryan didn't spend any more than $40 on this game. That is something to say about a game, guys.
That is true.
Might have bought the deluxe edition.
All right, take it off the list.
I don't remember how much I spent on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So, and not just do they like revamp the maps in really beautiful ways. I went back and watched some of the original game. I don't know if you
bad.
guys remember how fucking shit those
was.
games were.
It was.
There's so much fog. Like in the New York level, there is so much fog you can't see more than 10 feet in front
That's
of you. in the
regular New
original
York.
game.
That's called smog.
That's a dragon.
Pollution.
Drive high.
Cigarette smoke, right?
Yeah. Like the New York level in the remastered version is amazing. Like it looks so good. They retained
Nice.
almost everything. Like I would say they retained everything that's awesome about the original and took it up to 10. Like it is a true remastering of the everything that was fun about those games is in these games. Like collecting skate and doing the time attack challenges. Like all of that stuff made me want to play this game again. And I made it further in this game than I have any Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like I played the fuck out of the first two.
There's a story?
No. There's no story. Like you
no
still
story to it.
You still
Absolutely none.
Start the warehouse. You fucking skate the warehouse. You unlock the you find skate. You unlock the things.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you got to
Do
complete
the
like
same
four,
things over and over.
four
Collect
of the
these boxes.
trials.
Collect these letters.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And that's
Fun.
in the warehouse level. But when you move on to the school level, now you've got to collect the different things. And like, if
I wanted to collect stuff, I'd play Pokemon.
I understand
Not a skate game.
that didn't
can't
work for
argue
you,
with that.
Colin, and that's okay. But like, for
if you want to
me,
collect stuff, how about these hands, huh?
Ryan's like, I'm taking it off. I feel threatened.
all of that,
Blood
all of
murder.
that worked for me in a way that really made sense. I think it does a little bit more than just remastering, though. Like, it plays incredibly fast. Like, and I don't know, I didn't replay the old game, so I don't know if it plays faster than the old games.
100%.
But to me, I'm like, holy fuck, like, you've got to get good, noob. Like, if your reaction times aren't great, you're going to be shit at this game from the start, and you really need to concentrate on getting better. And like, it hooked me in that loop of like the trials loop
Another
that I
run.
get into.
Another
Yeah,
run.
give me another
Another
run.
run.
Give me another try at this. In a way that I don't think any game this year has.
Now, I remember these games, these skate games that came out, like, it was like 2016, 2015. They were like these really terribly made skate games. Was it Tony Hawk Pro Skate? The ones
There
with
was
several
there was
glitches?
new Tony Hawk games.
So there have been new Tony Hawk games
Yeah.
in the past, and Tony Hawk has been bad for years.
All right.
There was
They
one.
have been swinging and missing for a long time.
And basically what they did was they took their old game that was a big hit and they brought it back. But that's not my point. Is
They
this
had
game
to.
just as buggy as those other games? Or
No.
No, I didn't know
It's
any.
it's way better. I'm not. Excuse me. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying that. I just don't think it's worthy of top 5.
So
For being a I'm not honestly for being a remake. I'm now remastered.
Well,
even.
then we would have
it's
to
just
take
a
Demon's
port,
Souls out.
right?
Well, no, it's a remake, isn't
No,
it?
they remade the whole
remastered.
thing.
it's not a port.
I don't know. Same
They-
level, same everything.
Yeah, they had
What's
to
different
rebuild
other than the
them.
graphics and the music?
You don't have to change things for it to not be a port.
I know, but
they
like-
rebuilt the game from the ground up. They had to start from scratch. They put so much time into making this game feel like the old games because that's what got away from Tony Hawk to begin with. That's why people didn't like it, because they didn't play like Tony Hawk games. They managed to recreate the feeling of Tony Hawk in 2020, and that's a thing that hasn't been accomplished in a decade or better.
Like if you recreated a Halo game, like the original
Yeah,
Halo game.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's a big feat in and of itself to make the Halo game, but to do it again, that sounds pretty nice.
And I think that the devs took time in this game to make it so you don't waste your time. Like, the tutorial in the beginning is excellent. It's probably one of the best tutorials I played in years in any game.
Game of the
Like,
year, best tutorial.
Well, like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to play Tony Hawk. I am bad at that game. So for the game to teach me how to play Tony Hawk is very important.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have made it this far in Tony Hawk if I'm shit. Thank you, Sam. I'm shit at this game. I think Sam's choking.
What's your score on Downhill Jam?
I've never heard him admit it. Oh, my God.
Oh, he admits it all the time. Really?
I've never heard him admit it.
Oh my goodness.
What's your top score on Downhill Jam?
I don't know.
Is it over 1 million?
They
1
do.
point.
They do more things in this game not to waste your time. So, like, for instance, the game menu is super streamlined and it's built to keep you playing. So you can edit your player and your attributes in the middle of a run. So
that sounds incredibly dangerous. Is he wearing a helmet?
No,
Only
they're
if you
pro
get
skaters.
it
They
out
don't
and
wear
all the way
helmets.
down, just falls over.
you can choose to skate without a
Yeah,
helmet.
what if you're checking out your helmets and you take one off and you fall over and you didn't have a chance to put the other one on?
So the reason I don't have any argument to that. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that.
Because it's not a good game.
Sorry, it's being removed.
So, like, say you're trying to get to a portion of the map to collect skate, and you can't with your particular attributes. The way you have your character spec'd in a certain way, you don't have your airtime high enough to make it to the top. So, in the middle of a run, to achieve collecting skate, you can pause the screen, edit your attributes to give yourself more air to make collecting skate easier.
He's
And, like,
cheating.
Cheating.
Maybe,
like a broken
sure.
game.
But like, they do that so you don't waste your time going all the way back to the menus, editing your attributes, going all the way back in.
See, but
you
the
can do
thing
that
was, like,
on the fly.
Back in the day, there wasn't an edit your attributes. It was like,
Right.
I got to go back as Bob Burnquist now
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
to get the air that I need.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, no. Now I need Tony Hawk to do the 900 that I have to do on this run.
But
Exactly.
so they're just doing stuff
kinda
that
like
they
that
do it.
idea.
They do stuff now, basically in
Yeah.
normal games.
Yeah, like yes, the accessibility and stuff for this game.
Easy mode.
They brought it up to 2020.
Level.
Yes,
a standard level.
So I think
I like that as much.
I think those things really help this game stand out from other remakes, and even other remasters, if we want whatever we want to call this. And I think that the addition of online multiplayer is super cool too. So I played some of that today. I am so garbage at it. Like, I'm so bad. I actually had probably more fun watching the other people skate the track. And because you can see in the online multiplayer, you can see everybody's score compared to your own. And there's a top list. There's a top six people in the lobby.
Were you always 6th?
No, I made it 4th a couple of times, but I don't think I was any higher than that. And I also haven't played in a while, so just like jumping into an online multiplayer was not a great idea if I wanted to achieve anything. But I just wanted to try the multiplayer before I did this today.
Is it like always pausing because someone's always changing their character or their specs or something?
Nope, there's no pausing, so there's none of that in the online multiplayer. You take the character that you're spec'd as, and like everybody, you can see everybody else skating around in the park with you, so you can see everybody else's customized characters, which is cool. And then there are different game modes too. So there's graffiti, where you have to perform the highest point trick on any given piece of, like any given item on the map. So like a rail, if you grind a certain rail and you get that point, or you get the highest point total on that rail, then it becomes whatever color you are assigned.
Oh, okay.
So same thing with a half pipe. You get the highest score on that half pipe. Now that half pipe, it gets graffitied in your color, and the person with the highest graffiti total wins.
Splatoon.
Yeah, it's basically Tony Hawk's Splatoon.
Yep.
And then there's a couple of the other obvious ones, like highest combo in 2 minutes, highest score in 2 minutes, first to X combo score. That all like kept me wanting to play, but I was up at like 7 this morning and I was like, I got to do these notes. I can't keep playing Tony Hawk. So I don't know. I think that Tony Hawk probably stays for me. What do you say, Troy?
For me, this game, so you bought it for me.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It sucked.
It was an early birthday present, and I was down in Texas when you bought it, and I was supposed to be playing a bunch of PlayStation games because I borrowed a PlayStation while I was down there, and instead of playing those PlayStation games, I beat every level of number 1, and then got halfway through number 2, and then finally decided I should probably play this PlayStation that I borrowed. That game does like sucks you in like Tony Hawk used to. The music, like you're in, and it's just everything about bringing it back to the way Tony Hawk was supposed to be played, not this free roam. And I think that's the difference between like us, like Ryan and I, and yeah, just Ryan and I, maybe. And like you like Thug. I liked Thug, but it wasn't Tony Hawk. Like it wasn't as
Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is well more rated than
yeah. But that's also because that wasn't a like when number 1 came out, video games weren't even as advertised or as like rated. Like reviews were like in their beginnings, I would say.
Even today,
they're not as credited.
Yeah,
it wasn't something.
Yeah, like
to accredit
even if like
good job.
There was 3 people that were reviewing games or whatever, and then when Thug came out, and what year was that?
I don't know. I think it was like early 2000s.
Yeah,
probably.
Like that chunk of time in between. I mean, at that point, there was more than 3 video game magazines before. When we were with them, it was mostly Nintendo Power,
right?
Or I don't even
Game Informer.
Game Informer. Yeah.
I think that another thing that like this game has going for it too is that they tried to do this.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the Xbox One launch year, which is 2013, they released Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD. And that game fucking bombed. People hated playing it.
terrible.
It was garbage. It looked like garbage. They were advertising the same things about this game back then.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we remastered all the levels and made sure we hit everything just right, just for you guys. Like, this is for the fans. This is a game for the fans, blah, blah, blah.
But it wasn't.
That game was shit.
Like,
that was a cash grab, and that's bullshit.
He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later."
Exactly. Thank you, Avril.
It was a cash grab.
I can't say enough good things about, like, and I agree with you somewhat that when it's a remake, does it really belong on the list? But it's not. Like, if it was a remaster, definitely not. Like, if it was just literally, okay, well, let's render this in 4K now, and it's done. That's not what
remaster in the title.
It's
I don't know the full title of this. It might be.
I mean,
remake.
it is a remake because they remade it.
Yeah, it's 100% redone.
It's 100% not the crappy graphics I remember from Dreamcast. Yeah,
no,
it's not that.
No, it just says Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 2.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's
they remade the games from the ground up. Like, just listening to I watched a couple of different YouTube videos of them interviewing the skaters, like, nowadays, from back in the day, and like they interviewed them back then and then now, and just how much they love this game and how important they thought it was to skate culture, and like.
You would Hawk in a wheelchair, and they're like, "How do you think your game impacted people, those young folks?" Like,
Well, I can't skateboard anymore, so I gotta play this game now.
He's still crazy good at it. That's what's nuts.
Yeah.
And the wheelchair, no less.
Tony Hawk's still really good at playing.
Well, the wheelchair just has skateboard strapped to it.
Yeah, why would you need wheels?
He does have like the best Twitter, which is just stories of him not being recognized. Everybody knows his name.
Yeah, I saw it the other day. Somebody like he pulled up to the car, and she goes, "Wait, are you related to Tony Hawk?" He goes, "Yes." Pretty close.
I think I just read one where they went to the doctor and he was with his two kids.
Yeah, that's
his
what it
name
was.
is Anthony.
Anthony,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, Anthony this. It's like,
Anthony Hawk.
Oh. Anthony Hawk is like, oh, are you guys related to the skateboarder?
Yeah, that's
and
what
he's
it's
like,
about.
yep.
Oh my goodness,
we
is
are.
Anthony short or long for Tony?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
What
fuck!
do you not
Are
know?
you serious?
That's crazy.
How did we get that on camera?
Wow. Tony's out there and like, this motherfucker.
Or there was like
Anthony?
he went to a car place like to rent one, and they took him off the list, and the owner's like, I thought it was fake. And he's like, no, I'm real.
Unreal. It's actually me. Everybody knows who Tony Hawk is, but they don't know what he looks like.
Right.
You aren't real, Tony. You're Anthony.
You are.
Why would he put it in as Anthony? Like, oh, it's for a COVID test. I guess you got to be precise.
So I think it stays on the list.
For now, it stays. How about that? Let's target another game.
It's a pretty good.
Let's do process of elimination.
Cold War.
That should just fucking go. No argument.
Yeah.
Who's gonna defend it? Top 5?
I mean,
For top 5? You're really gonna defend Cold War for top 5? You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, holy, that's just shit game.
He hasn't even said a word. Like,
Do it.
What? Yeah. Hold on.
Never playing this shit fucking game again.
I get that you aren't happy with
A
this
lot of
game.
people aren't. Look at the reviews.
But-
I'm not the only one.
But,
I
mean,
I literally put a bad review for this game. Like, I have never once in my life given a game a bad review. I went online and gave this game a shite review. I couldn't help it.
No, you did not.
I did 100%.
Where would you even review it at?
Pretty sure it was
Amazon?
Google. Pretty sure it was Google.
Oh,
You can
okay.
Google review games. It's got like a 2.2 stars out of 5, I think.
I've never seen a good review on Google, honestly.
Hey, I see 5. Hey, I go to restaurants. I got a 5.0
People
on
aren't
Google.
like, yeah, I love
Cold
this.
War
I'm gonna review it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. I don't know. Like, I haven't ever had
Got
an
a
issue with
2.3.
this game. I don't. I have fun with this game. It took it in a different direction, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not mad at them for it. That's the difference between Modern Warfare and Black Ops. Like the art style difference. It looks cool.
But how is it Game of the Year, though? That's what I want to know. It's.
Well, I mean, we haven't even talked about it though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you want to defend it, I think it should be top 5. You think it beats all these other games for top 5?
That's not really the point of what we're doing.
But like, no, but I mean,
we should at least.
I think we should at least talk about it.
Like, this game did some really cool things this year, and even if it's not top 5, we should talk about the things that it did good.
zombies.
Zombie.
Okay.
I heard
How
campaign's
much
good. I said
how much time did you spend in
I've
zombies?
spent quite a bit
Still
of time in zombies.
in zombies.
Yes.
Not just you're still
Yeah.
playing
No,
zombies.
I still like zombies. Yeah, but
So that's still this game.
1/3 of the game is great.
Like
1/3 of the game is great.
Yep.
You didn't play the other one, and you hate the third one.
Yeah,
So
2/3 is still not good enough to be. Sorry.
I mean, I hated the whole game, so I'm fine with that.
there you go.
You know
what
what?
do you think, Austin?
I've stopped playing Call of Duty altogether. It's just
Really?
I
rinse,
get it.
repeat, rinse, repeat.
I get it.
From way at the beginning when I used to play Call of Duty, what, 4? And I mean, like Black Ops and all that in high school, middle school, all that. I mean, it's even though they add some new stuff, it's still just Call of Duty again.
And
And
I still like Warzone because it
Warzone is
new
different.
feel.
Yeah, Warzone is different. I like that. That's a new concept to all that.
I love Warzone.
But zombies, campaign, multiplayer, same matches, just different maps. And yeah, there's nothing really new there for me.
I get it. It doesn't feel new for me either.
In this game, I really like the guns. Like the way they they took the Modern Warfare thing and they made it Black Ops.
Yeah, I like the guns a lot. I do agree with that.
What is there to be excited about this game?
There's not a whole lot to be on these zombies, in my opinion.
Like
They remake Nuketown
well, I
for
mean,
the 5th time.
For this,
There you go.
I had.
like when you
Another
buy,
Nuketown.
true.
like when I see a game and I see a game trailer, I get excited for the things that I want to play. But when I've got those things already tenfold, like what is there to be excited about?
You got a good point.
I mean, I don't really have an argument for that. That's pretty it's for me, the things about Call of Duty, especially in the multiplayer, I don't particularly care for the way Black Ops Cold War plays.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
I loved the original Black Ops games. They're my favorite series of the Call of Duty series.
yeah.
I like them more than Modern Warfare and the other ones, but I think that Modern Warfare, last year's Call of Duty, 2019's Call of Duty, did a lot more for me to get me invested in the way that it plays. And we kind of talked about some of the stuff on the Call of Duty episode. Like, I don't have a lot of kind things to say about what Black Ops Cold War does. So I don't think that the graphics are as good.
Oh,
They're
no.
not.
And it
For sure
it pushes
not.
my PC more than Modern Warfare does.
That's sad.
I don't get it. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Optimization is poor.
It's Reagan's
Yeah.
face.
It's very
The wax man.
I think it's a cool idea that they have input the cross multiplayer progression, basically. So
Battle Pass is what
progression,
you-
the progression in this game counts in Advanced Warfare and it counts in Warzone.
Not
But
Advanced Warfare.
Yes, it does. I looked it up, Troy.
Modern Warfare.
I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't. In Advanced
I'm
Warfare.
sorry. Modern Warfare.
That is like
Thank
Blood
you
is
for-
about to be
thank you
spilled.
for- Thank you for correcting me. Modern Warfare.
Advanced Warfare is broken after they did that.
Yeah, in Modern Warfare. So, but I think, like, for me, that's also kind of telling that they knew it was going to be a down year for Call of Duty. Like, you don't kill the goose that laid the golden egg. You know, when you got another goose here, but you don't think that one's going to lay a golden egg. So you got to keep that other one around for a little bit longer.
The only thing that I like that came from Cold War is the Rebirth map in Warzone.
That's the Rebirth map.
So
That's
technically
Warzone,
Warzone. I
So
wouldn't.
what I'm saying, but
Warzone
it
is a
came
different
because,
game.
you know,
Warzone is a different game, and we can talk about that.
Yeah, that's
Call of Duty's
so-
name is not on the block. What's on the block is Cold War.
Black Ops
Yeah.
Cold War.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like I
no, I know.
said,
I'm saying like that's my thing of saying for Black Ops, the only thing I like from it is that it got Rebirth added to Warzone because they came out and that's
but that's technically not even that game.
Yeah. And it's going
I have
away.
nothing
Like it
to
won't
praise
stay.
for Cold. I don't know.
It won't. It's just a event map. It'll go away.
I think they rehashed a lot of the stuff that people liked about Modern Warfare, but did not do enough to differentiate it. And in the ways that it is differentiated, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Speaking
I agree.
from a place of ignorance, but also reason, I would say I am very not interested in this game after hearing what you guys have to say about it. And the only reason anybody would be interested is only because your friends are now playing that instead of Warzone. But they'll be back shortly.
It brings the community together.
Yeah.
Right, Colin?
Right.
With your buddies on there online?
Right.
Right.
Right. Correct.
She's
But
right.
that's-
Well, I don't know. Cold War is just, man.
I mean, we talked about some of the specific ways that the character movement is different, or I guess, your personal movement. Like,
I just never have fun playing it. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm doing good. If I'm first in the lobby, I'm still not enjoying myself. That's just how it is for me. It just doesn't feel that satisfaction.
I played Black Ops. I played Cold War the other night while I was waiting for you to get on, and I had fun the whole time. I don't know how to explain like why I'm having fun. It could be just, I mean, any Call of Duty, there's not many that I was like, fuck this, I'm not playing it besides Ghosts. Like, Ghosts was the only one that I was like, no, I can't play this game. I literally went back and played the one before it.
Yeah.
And
I get that. I love Treyarch. I always loved Treyarch games. I always thought Treyarch games were better. I've always enjoyed them more than Infinity Ward. And then Modern Warfare came out, and I was like, well, like, before it came out, I was like, oh, it's going to be a shit game. Then it came out, I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. I love this game. Yeah. Then I started, I don't like it as much when it was first released, but I still enjoy it. But Cold War, man, it's just such a a step down for me. I just don't have fun playing it.
And we're not saying you can't like it.
I know. No, I know that.
We only like 5 games, okay?
Zombies
We're
is
picking
fun
the 5 that we like.
Zombies is addictive.
I'm keeping it fair in that this game was made this year. There are things that I like about this game, and I feel like I should tell you about those things. Yeah. Whether you like them or not, I don't really care. I like them.
Zombies is,
and I
think Zombies is an achievement.
They brought back the original, like, the perks, just the feel of the game. Like, obviously they brought back a map, which was the original.
Nocturne
Totem. Yeah, which is the first World at War Zombies map, and they integrated that and made it to a larger map, which I love.
Cool.
I just got a lot of nostalgia feels for that, and then you got all the, like I said, the same perks, a couple different ones. It could be some.
In some instances, it's gotten too complicated for me.
Exactly, like when Zombies, like Black Ops 3 and 4, I was like, fuck Zombies, I'm not playing. I couldn't do it. I was like, it's all Easter egg. Like, I can't do it. This one, it's like you can do the Easter egg, but honestly, the gun isn't even that good, so. It's up to you.
Right.
It's like YouTube videos. It's like 10 things you didn't know about what came out in the new zombie things. Like, remember this texture from number 1?
Yeah.
It's back now. Easter egg.
It's back now. Yeah, I like that they didn't just freaking bombard it with Easter eggs, and I that's what I probably love most about it, to be honest.
Okay. So
I'm okay with it going off the list, but like I said, it's a fun game. There's no reason, like, if you like Call of Duty, it's a good Call of Duty. It's not as good as Modern Warfare, but it's still it's a Black Ops game.
Killer Kato. Killer Kato.
Kill Cold War.
Is this it?
Yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, it didn't work.
I did the border.
Way to tease me, Ryan.
No!
I'm sorry. Does anybody
new
know?
game of Duty Cold War.
Just highlight it.
Does anybody know the keyboard stroke for
backspace?
Highlight it.
I don't want to backspace it. I want to leave the list intact.
We had to Google this last year.
No, that's
all right. Bravo. Just make it white. Make the text white.
It's white out.
Dead.
Bravo
okay.
6 going
Call of
out.
Duty is off the list.
Okay. Not all of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is off the list.
Yes.
Got to deal with his twin brother.
I think another one that we could potentially axe easily would be Miles Morales.
Okay. I do not have a horse in this race. I played a little bit of the original on my PS5, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't love it.
I've heard that's like
the original.
DLC.
Okay. I would say if you're not as big a fan of it, like with Miles, it is better. Like it plays better, feels better. There's so much better about it than the original, but it's so tiny,
compact and tiny. Yeah,
and
really,
like it's fun to play.
I hate his voice
you get
so
used
much.
to it. You do. I hated it at first. I got used to it.
We Chicago.
But
What was that?
I don't know.
like
Chicago.
No.
There's things I like about it. Again, like I like it more than the original, but like there was something special about the original. The original was big, long, and felt like this big adventure. Where this one, it's just too small for me to be like, oh yeah, game of the year. It's more like, hey, this is the edition of the year, like a DLC.
Like, it feels like DLC.
Yeah,
I would say if this was a
DLC.
top DLC, that's what I would consider it as, because that's what it is. But
I wonder, other than the release of the next gen consoles, then what would be the reason for breaking it out as its own game?
Yeah,
Like that's
the only
kind of
reason.
An odd choice.
Just the hype.
I mean,
that's
if you actually
we have a launch game. Miles
we got a
Morales.
launch game.
I mean, you saw it at the Game Awards last year. That's exactly what it was. It was like little bitty trailer, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then it was like, then you guys got it, and it wasn't anything like you thought it would be.
Yeah.
Well, it's exactly like I thought it would be.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like a DLC.
Yeah, like I enjoy it for what it is, and it is really good. Like it's top tier, but it's not enough.
What does it do to differentiate itself from the original Spider-Man?
Well,
Morales new story
because
Spider-Man's gone and Miles Morales
because of the character of the story. You play as Miles, so he fights slightly differently. He swings differently, so his traversal is different.
Like electric power.
Yeah, he has a venom electrical power, which again, it plays better, feels better, is more fun. Like it is in all options a better game, other than the fact that it is a minuscule scale.
So what makes it so small? Are you in a different part of New York or something?
Like small is in like not a lot of gameplay. Like it's a short game.
Yeah.
It's like 8 hours.
There's not a whole lot there.
Which the original, I think I played 30 or 40 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And again, like it's just small, short. It is a sweet short package. So again, it's good, but I cannot say full game 2020. It is a DLC expansion. If there was top expansion of the year, I would put it as #1.
Can you make a category for best DLC?
We had one.
There was nothing there.
We have something now.
Like I honestly would put that
Pokemon
as like top tier short game. Like it's really good, and I honestly like how it controls. I really like how Miles moves less. Like, because in the first one, Spider-Man moves really methodically, professionally, and so it's like he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, I think.
Yep.
So I like this one more because it's like I'm not Spider-Man. Like I want to play in the start, so that way as they get better, you know, you get better at things. And I mean, the visual. My favorite thing is the fact that they have a little visual thing from the Spider-Verse movie where he moves on twos. So if you attach it, his frame rate is like the movie. So I actually play the game in 30 FPS with ray tracing, because with that bump, I love it. Like it's cool, so beautiful. The music's great. That's another thing that's different. The Spider-Man before kind of had like a
normal hero music.
Yeah, but akin to like the Sam Raimi movies.
Yeah,
very close to that. Where this is hip hop.
Yeah,
and so it is really good and fun.
What do you think, Austin?
I mean, he had everything on the nose. The only thing I liked differently was some of the story. Like at the beginning.
It is. The beginning's really good.
The beginning is really good because you're sitting there fighting little minions because you're like, you had to like escort a convoy of prisoners and Rhino's in one of them.
Okay.
And somehow one of the wires starts breaking and then Miles is like, I got this, don't worry. And then obviously he messes it up. And then Rhino escapes and then all the prisoners escape. So then Spider-Man, the real Spider-Man's like, all right, I'll take on Rhino, you take on little minion guys. And then you're sitting there fighting all the little but as you're fighting the little minion guys, you know, it's like a tutorial. As you're learning, they're learning the game.
Square to punch.
So you're sitting there fighting them, and then in the background, literally not even like in the far background, but like right next to you is Rhino and Spider-Man fighting each other, and they're like throwing each other. Stuff is exploding around you. You're trying to like watch them fight while fighting other people, and you're just like, oh my god, this is really cool right now.
That was a cool intro.
And it is a really cool intro.
I also liked. I looked at. There's a moment when you are basically fighting Rhino with Spider-Man, and you have to keep guiding him and trying to save people. And if you fail, Spider-Man then has to pop in and save the people instead, and then you kind of get reprimanded. And I'm like, oh, I'm failing.
They also changed Spider-Man's face to look more like Tom Holland.
That would be the biggest.
That was rough, dude.
I hated that.
Well, the guy that does the voice, he goes, "Guys, it's just my face. It just doesn't look good in the game."
Well, it's not even
silly
that.
Make him look like Tom Holland.
What happened is the, and I can see because like the face model looks closer to the actor who plays Spider-Man, and they're like, going forward, we want to be able to do closer emotional and facial capture, and their bone structure is completely different between the old Spider-Man and the new one. I hate his new face. Another reason I like playing as Miles, because I loved, like, I played that original game and I really liked how the Peter looked.
Yeah, he just
one
looked
of my
older.
favorite.
Now he just looks like he's 20
19,
again. Yeah, to
he
19,
looks
20
like he's 23,
Yeah.
but he doesn't look like he's been Spider-Man for 8 years.
exactly. Well, Spider-Man did start out at 16, so
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, that's 8 years.
He does technically look his age of being 23,
exactly.
but it doesn't look like he aged as Spider-Man. So,
Man, do you guys remember how old Christian Bale looked after 8 years as Batman?
Oh my God.
Holy fuck.
Dude. Basically, it was
Good
like
thing
Two-Face.
All right, so we
This
nixing
is
that.
jar-
Let's just go ahead. I mean, great game.
Unless Austin has
great DLC.
It sounds like
Okay, game, better DLC.
Let's
like,
take it out.
we put it, it is really good, but
is
it's
good.
not enough to be.
That's that disappointment factor.
We can talk about Squadron if you want.
yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
play
let's do
that.
it.
I have only played Squadron in VR. Ryan has played it on PC,
console. Xbox. I played it a little bit.
Okay. I didn't play a whole lot of it. I did enjoy it, but didn't get a huge grasp of the story.
Yeah.
But I love the way it felt. I love the way it controlled. Playing it in VR was super trippy and really hard to get used to. But once you did, it was fun. Not as graphical as I thought it was going to be, though.
Really?
Because VR is very limiting. So
Yeah.
only the spaceships you can see in 3D. Everything else isn't really in 3D.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's like a 2D image in the background. So that
Okay.
like space is a 2D image.
Right,
Like,
right.
what the hell?
You can't see the depth of
This
space.
star has been in the same spot, and it looks
Supposedly infinite stars.
yeah, it's supposedly infinite.
You just get up really close, it gets all flat.
yeah.
You start seeing the
What's going
crawl
on?
come across your screen from the
going
movie.
on
Thinking,
here?
what the fuck?
Am I in a skybox? What the heck?
No, it's really fun, super fun to play, but I don't think it deserves to be on the list. Like I said, it's a great game. Just didn't play a whole lot of it. It's EA Star Wars game once again.
Yeah.
I'm happy that they made it in VR.
Yeah.
That just
Oh,
blows
yeah.
my mind. The multiplayer's fun. You can do your own offline. You can just basically spawn ships and just attack them. That's great. I want to get one of those thrust sticks for it.
Yeah.
So I can actually like fly, like if using a plane, like the
Yeah.
toggle, then you shoot and stuff. Oh my gosh.
Because in VR, do you use your
I have to use a controller. You don't use the. You don't.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not for some reason you can't use the normal index controllers. You have to use the actual console
So-
controller.
If you like, it's not super like.
No,
control-
you can't.
No, I'm a different game. But in Vader Immortal.
Yeah.
Have you played that?
I haven't, but I've seen gameplay.
That in that there's a couple of portions where you're like, it's a really weird spaceship, but they made it for VR.
Yeah.
Where you're standing
Like
up
three
like on
things.
a platform, and then there's all these little toggle switches, and that's like the first thing you do is you got to flip all these toggle switches, and it's like. Okay.
Honestly, I thought that's what it was going to be.
This
in
is
Rogue
legit.
Squadrons.
Yeah, this is what I want.
I'd be at a
and
disadvantage.
then it was like, okay, flip these switches and then flip this into hyperdrive, and then your droid buddy takes over and does the rest.
Wow.
But so you don't actually like all you do is turn on the hyperdrive and then engage it.
Okay.
Everything else is all done by this little half a droid that floats around.
If you're in hyperdrive, autopilot.
Hold up. So the VR doesn't even. This is the VR portion of Rogue Squadron.
No,
You don't-
no,
You
no,
don't
no.
pilot it.
No.
No, in the Rogue Squadron, you
game, sorry.
pilot it. He's talking about a different game.
But you
Like,
still
like
use
they
a
could
controller.
have, they could have at least gave you some elements because they, I mean,
They've
have
done it before, is what
Yeah.
he's trying to say.
Yeah.
They've done it in a
scared
previous
me.
game.
'Cause I was thinking about buying that game, and I was like, "Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
don't break my achy breaky heart."
I was worried I was going to have to I wasn't worried. I was kind of excited, but you actually have to grab the stuff in the game
Yeah.
using the controllers.
Yeah, that's
and
what
I
I
thought that's what
thought.
it was going to be, but I understand how that would be kind of difficult to control
Yes.
everything all at the same time and also try to manage seeing everybody because it's hard to navigate. It really is.
Well, that's
it's
why
a learning
so
curve.
many of them get
motion
shot down.
sickness. Yeah, like
I mean,
That's why, honestly, like in VR, and it would be so good with the hand controls, is some form of a pod racer game.
they're coming out with a pod racer game.
Yeah.
A new one.
I want to play
Yeah.
that.
Not in VR.
So it needs to
Not-
be VR.
They could make one in VR. They have like a lot of racing games in VR, so I could totally see them doing something like that.
Because you just have the stick.
Well, now that LucasArts is back,
yeah.
Lucasfilms,
a little bit of
games.
news there. Lucasfilms,
A little bit of
games.
news.
Couldn't bring back
Lucasfilm Games
LucasArts.
has been brought back for those of you that didn't know that. So we will be getting a Ubisoft Star Wars game, open world. They've got Massive Entertainment working on it, which is the same guys that made The Division and The Division 2.
It's gonna be cool.
So that'll be cool.
excited.
But
No more EA.
So
back-
we might want to hold our breath like a little bit
Yeah.
because Division.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I'm not.
But they also made Splinter Cell, so like...
Yeah.
But back to Rogue Squadron, I think it's absolutely cool for what it is.
Yeah.
I think $40 is a very reasonable price to pay for that thing.
Yep.
I love that it has a story mode.
Shocking for EA.
Yeah, I like the multiplayer component. I didn't see any evidence of like loot box bullshit in there.
Yeah.
Like
Customize your spaceship that you can't see when you're flying in first person.
to me, it reads.
Can you
like,
fly in third person? Just out of
No,
curiosity?
it's all in the cockpit.
Oh, I thought you could.
When they may have patched that in, but
Maybe
when
they
I was
did. I don't
playing
know.
it at launch,
I could just be thinking
it
of
was,
Battlefront.
I think it's
Yeah,
Battlefront, yeah, because
Battlefront,
I mean, it would be unfair if you could see more of the map than the other people
Playing that in VR. I mean, you
against.
still could play it in VR, just be a little weird because I'm floating through space. Right now. You're just spectating. Through space.
Hold your breath.
It's like the video you showed us, the cameraman and the
snowboarder.
Sorry.
Yeah, I applaud what it is. I think it's really cool that it exists. And for me, it reads like almost as an apology for Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
We're sorry. We're sorry that you guys hated that fucking game so much at launch. And that game is still the record holder for the most downvoted comment on Reddit.
It's the Darth Vader comment, right? Take pride in your 40 hours to unlock a character.
I don't remember what the comment was, but it was actually one of the devs said something about the Battlefront 2, and whatever the dev comment was, people just like, fuck you.
Wow.
It was something
click
stupid.
that thumbs down.
Because it would take like 50 hours to unlock.
Yeah.
The special character, like Darth Vader, was 40.
If I remember right.
40 hours of grinding.
So for this game, I think like they wanted to apologize for that. So they made it a $40 release. Like, let's put a story in it.
Add VR.
Add VR. Like that's a super cool thing.
I was really excited for this game when they were talking about it originally. They kept saying that they went to people that build models in their houses.
Oh yeah.
Like that's how they were gonna make it. So I was like, man, this VR, those nerds that build those, this is gonna be flipping switches, flight stick with your VR
make that
hands.
happen. Add a mod.
And it would be a mod. But
that is also what I thought it was gonna be. It plays
I was hoping
really well on the controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. But it's kind of a bummer, like you were saying, Colin. So I think it can go off.
I mean, I totally get why it's take it off the list.
Doesn't mean it's not good.
All right, we've got 3 games off this list. Let's take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with some more arguments. All right, we got to take a break here, guys. So we'll be right back after a word from one of our new favorite podcasts, the Imperial Scrolls of Honor, hosted by Jay and Josh. They do weekly episodes after taking a look at early issues of Nintendo Power, Sega Visions, and Game Pro. And it's a really good idea. I can't believe that we didn't think of it. So without further ado, here they are.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jay.
And we host the Imperial Scrolls of Honor podcast, where once a month we flip through an early issue of Nintendo Power, Sega Visions, or Game Pro, and then analyze, touch on, and bullshit about whatever we find interesting.
At the end of which, we pick a game from the mag to focus on. 2 weeks later, we record a chat about the game and decide whether it is deserving of King Loric's blessing.
Do our best to infuse some comedy in there,
while still aiming to be informative.
So, if that sounds like something you're into, listen in on whatever platform you do your potting on.
All right, welcome back from break, everybody. Appreciate you sticking with us. We're going to jump right back into our Game of the Year Part 2 segment. So we will read the list of games that we have left, which is most of them. Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk 2077, Warzone, Saints Row 3, The Complex, Nexomon Extinction, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Remaster, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Demon's Souls Remake, Animal Crossing New Horizon, Tetris Effect Connected, Super Mario 35, and Among Us. So go ahead, Sam.
I would like to say one that sticks out quite well is Tetris, because I've heard of this Tetris game that that Troy has played.
Yeah,
and he made the last time I heard about it. It sounds really visually appealing, but I just want to know like what it has to bring to the table.
Is it Tetris?
Yeah,
it is Tetris on acid times 11.
Were you on acid? Or
Times
No, you
11.
have to be on acid to
11.
play said game on acid.
Oh, I think you would have a bad trip at that point.
Is
That's
it part of the
a bad
deluxe
idea.
pack? You get a pack of acid along with the game, and you get a stand
Like,
for it.
I'm
in case you
pretty-
wanna display it.
I'm
Put
pretty
it under your tongue
Yeah.
or it'll fuck you up.
Oh, that explains it. I put it on my tongue.
Yeah, you had a bad day.
I used it.
Are
as a
any of
contact.
you guys real? Or is this all in my brain?
Well,
It's at least a little bit of it. It's in your brain. This is
Matrix.
just a bad.
This is a simulation.
Yeah.
it's
breaking.
if you like any kind of Tetris obviously.
If you're into Minesweeper or calculator on
Pinball
Microsoft,
2000.
No, if you
Solitaire.
like Tetris or any other like a beat driven game almost like a music
Beat
game.
Saber.
Pac-Man
Beat
Championship
Saber,
Edition.
that kind of stuff. This game is like takes that to another level because not only are you like you want to watch the visualizations on the background, like because you can take your Tetris board and just move it all around so you can make sure you can see everything.
Okay.
And I didn't know you could do that for the longest time, and I accidentally hit the wrong stick, and it jumped over to the corner, and I was like, I can see so much more now.
wait, what else do you need to see in a Tetris?
Well, that's the thing is it distracts you. It's like this is so pretty and this sound is so nice, but I'm supposed to be playing Tetris in that corner.
so it's like you're at a rave, but you've got like Tetris on your phone. Or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
Okay.
This is exactly the point, Sam. That's why we have you here. That's why we waited 2 hours for you to show up. Was for that right there.
Oh no.
You can go home
like
now.
a trailer or any gameplay of this Tetris? to
Yeah.
show us? 'Cause
Yeah, we can
I'd
pull
like
up
to see
Tetris
before I
specs.
decide if
you
I'm
weren't
for or
on
against.
the episode where I showed all that.
All right, pass it around, Troy.
I think I heard you talking about it, but I don't think I
Oh,
saw
we might not have
gameplay of
shown it
Yeah.
that time.
Tetris effect.
No, wait, I was not on.
Oh,
the
wow,
episode.
looks
I was on the
like
episode
Tetris.
after.
Oh.
Looks like there's a multiplayer component.
There is.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why it's Tetris Effect connected.
Okay, this is the launch trailer. I think it's going to play in the headphones, so
think
I'm
it should.
sorry if it doesn't.
We don't really need the sound. It's just the look.
You said the music was great.
It is really great.
There we go.
I hear
We got
it.
music.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like
Tetris
Slender.
Woods.
like this is just pretty right here, right? And then now let's play Tetris too.
Oh,
Oh, bird.
Bird.
See?
It's Bird Twist.
Wait, I want to see. I want to see the screen. I'm just.
This literally looks like you could play it in VR.
It is
It is
VR.
the VR.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was made for PSVR originally.
What is this fucking jam?
Right? Like
Dude,
the
what is
whole
this
thing.
song?
Is it about Tetris? Please tell me this is a Tetris song.
Got a stack of blocks.
Rotate right.
Watch out for the
rotate
long
left.
one.
All new multiplayer.
Yeah, so it's got the competitive Tetris built into it that it didn't have before.
Classic.
Okay, that seems cool. I like that.
This game, like the whole time you're playing it, you don't want to stop. You saw it said 2018 on it because it was made like original Tetris Effect was made a while ago, but this is connected because it's multiplayer.
Oh, is that why?
Yes,
Optimized single player and all new multiplayer. Okay.
because it's optimized for the console.
So is it kind of a remaster?
It almost is. It just kind of adds a couple more.
It just adds a couple.
It's like DLC.
Yeah, and like it doesn't need to stay on this list. I will say that, but it's a beautiful game.
Looks cool.
Everybody
Looks
should
fun.
play this game.
I have it downloaded, and I remember we talked about it on the podcast. I should have played this.
Yeah,
Like, that looks so fucking cool.
That's your game.
You said
It's
it had,
neon.
Yeah.
It's music.
Yeah, I like a lot
Kind of the
that
music
aesthetic.
that you like.
To help
I
you learn
don't-
your shapes.
Shapes, sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it reminds me a lot of one that had come out years ago that I had a lot of fun of, but it was Pac-Man Championship Edition.
Okay.
It's basically like that.
Yeah.
And it's Pac-Man, and like you play in the regular screen, and then when you get a big score, it starts expanding, and then you get all the crazy music and all this stuff, and then it's just flying all over the place. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But
Troy-
I played it and then stopped. So
Right.
It seems like it'd be fun to like be like, oh, I'm gonna play this every so often when I just want to have some.
No, that's seriously what I use it for. Like, I can't play Call of Duty. I am like like I've raged out too much on Call of Duty. I was playing with Colin all day, and I am like wrecked. If you play with Colin for more than 3-4 hours, you're like, I am on fire. I'm going to murder somebody if I don't calm down.
It also helps you communicate.
Colin's raging too hard.
Colin has raged me into raging.
Your children are like, I want to see Dad, and your mom's like, no, he's in his padded room. Right?
Exactly.
Colin.
And like you've been in this padded room, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking kill something. I just want to kill something, and then you're like, no, I need to calm down.
Really make you feel that way? Sounds like I'm unhealthy for this relationship.
I mean, like I told you last night when we were playing Gunfight. Gunfight is a toxic version of Call of Duty. It is. It is.
That's why I love it.
It takes the toxicity to like a 14.
14-year-old squealer. Yeah.
But I'm the one doing the toxic part.
So it's like going back to the old Call of Duty lobbies on the 360 with all the racism and 12-year-olds shouting slurs at you, right?
Yes, because you can't turn the chat off. If you have a mic, you're gonna talk. It is like, but this game, my wife doesn't play video games besides like Mario and a few smaller games, and she took the controller from me and was like, "You're doing this wrong."
Yeah. So
let me learn you something, boy.
I am not good at Tetris, but I love this.
I'm not good at it either.
Yeah, you're not good at Tetris.
I'd have to have my mom play it. She used to play that all the time.
Yeah. So we had
our mutual friend that we went to high school with, Anthony. I told him about the podcast.
Tony.
Yeah, sorry. Tony. He goes by Anthony.
Actually, he goes by his last name, but we're not going to call him out like that.
Yeah. So I told him about the podcast because I haven't talked to him in probably a decade.
Yeah.
And we reconnected at a wedding last year. And so I told him about the podcast, and I didn't even send him the video. I don't remember. But he watched that episode where you talked about Tetris Effect, and I have gameplay clips of you playing Tetris in there. Yep. So for listeners, go back. That was the Series X episode that we talked about that.
Because I had nothing else to play.
Gameplay clips of Troy playing Tetris Effect Connected, and just fucking garbage. Like, he's so garbage.
People, I'm making people rage watching me play Tetris. I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even care. This looks beautiful.
And Anthony texted me, and he's like, "Hey, is that actually Troy playing Tetris?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's it. That's gameplay clips of him playing." And he goes, "He is fucking terrible." Yes.
So
yes, he is.
I knew that. And I think I said that on the podcast
I think you did.
multiple times. I am not good at this game, but it's beautiful.
I think his actual quote was, "He's right. He's terrible." So, yeah, Tetris Effect Connected. That's cool. Definitely worth talking about for sure.
It can go. It's kind of like Tetris 99.
Yeah.
It's a really cool take on Tetris. They've never done anything crazy like this before with Tetris. You don't think like that's another one. Like you took Tetris and you were like, let's make this really cool.
Right.
And it's from one of the like well-known Japanese developers. Like a guy that develops games in Japan made this game. He was like, I'm gonna make a Tetris game and it's gonna be badass.
I think I read that story
and he was right.
Yeah,
it's a PlayStation guy.
Yeah,
dang it. Point to them.
I think we
point to them.
Among Us.
Okay.
I mean, that's like 2020 COVID game of the year, but at the same time, yeah, I've played it. I bounced right off of it.
Much, man. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fun, I guess, when you have a fun group to play with. But I mean, when you're just playing normal in the chat, it gets kind of repetitive.
Okay.
I always get voted out. First time. I always get voted out.
I found it extremely unplayable, actually.
Yeah. Well, are you playing on your iPhone 3 again?
No, honestly, like compared to the other games I've played with anonymity and like a trader or whatever than that, this game is trash compared to those games. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's just it's dumb that there's no talk, like there's no table talk unless you're at the meeting place.
Yeah,
or if you're in Discord.
Yeah, or if you're in Discord. But
the way that people play, sorry to interrupt, but I've watched my nephews play it in VR, on VR chat.
Interesting.
So you can go in VR chat, you can see all the other people like standing there when it comes to table talk time.
Yeah, I've played
and
VR chat.
So you play Among Us, and then you like see everybody else standing around until when it's time to talk.
Gotcha. But you can't really play detective. You just kind of like, do I believe this person's word or do I not? Like that's all you have to go on. I mean, and is like with other things like and Trouble in Terrace Town. Yeah. There's a lot more. Like it blows it out of the water with different things like what the person was killed with, like how long ago were they killed with, who has an alibi. You like.
Is that a multiplayer game?
That is a multiplayer game.
It's
how long does it last?
Lasts like 5 minutes.
There's mine. There's also in Pavlov that have Trouble in Terrace Town.
I mean, it's been iterated so many times, and I feel like this
it's
one.
Like it's not even really a game. It's just somebody was like, I know a cool mode for basically I can't
communication.
Well, no, I mean the game. What game is it actually from?
Mafia. Mafia,
Count
perhaps.
of Salem
Mafia
is another one that's
but the one
Werewolf.
that
Werewolf.
Fuck.
Damn it, Troy. You're ruined.
The one that frickin' Pavlov is made after.
Oh,
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. It's Counter-Strike. Gosh, thank you. Brain failure.
We're gonna have to cut that.
No, it stays.
Big long cut.
This is Troy. It stays.
It's all about.
Well, I'm editing, so we'll see what happens.
I'm sweating right now trying to think of counter.
We're live.
Terrorists.
Oh yeah,
on,
you're at a bad place in your life, kind of like Call of Duty. Like
we got like supervisors sitting in the background, looking like this. They're watching.
Troy's like red rum,
like holding up a sign.
This game, fucking Counter-Strike.
That's what I saw. I was like Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but for me, like, okay, I know a lot of people's play. I've played it maybe not as much as other people, for sure. But from what I gathered, I felt like it was very hard to play because there was so much that wasn't there. It was basically all like, do I believe you or do I not?
Yeah,
so
that's all it was.
You guys, Colin and Sam, you guys played similar game, and you too, Austin, to Among Us? Because I've never even heard of this style of game before.
Like where you have to eliminate somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's someone anonymously the traitor, and you've got to get rid of them.
Well, because it's inspired by an actual like. You play with friends in a sitting, like you would sit around in a circle. It's called Mafia, which you play with a deck of cards, and each deck of card means something. Either you're like a civilian, the Godfather,
I've
whatever.
played something similar to that.
A lot of games.
Who's the liar?
Yeah.
Who's the liar?
Who's the liar?
You know?
And then this is just that, but as a game. And I mean, I can see this game is only fun depending upon who you're playing with.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have had ridiculous amounts of fun with it. Like I had put it on because you and I talked about it. I was more like, this I would put as like top multiplayer game of the year. Like I would do that with what I've played.
Yeah.
It obviously depends upon who you play with and how.
That is a good point. It is everywhere. Like you play this game anywhere.
I mean, there's 2 games on this list that are, these games are top tier this year because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like Animal Crossing nobody would have known besides like Phil. I would have never played it had it not been so big this year. Like I've never played an Animal Crossing game in my life. It's the same deal. Like
it's like VR, man. I when COVID was going on, I mean, it still is kind of is, but when lockdown was going on, like everyone was just on freaking VR, man. It's impossible for me to find. Like sometimes Pavlov servers are pretty low. Yeah, like I'm trying to find an S&D match, I can't really find one. But during COVID, man, everybody had a lobby open.
Well, and everybody bought a VR for that reason.
That's why like Oculus was sold out. Like everywhere was sold out of those freaking.
I was thinking of getting my son a Quest 2 for his birthday.
Do it.
And so with Among Us, it definitely depends upon who you're playing with. And then there are certain things where it's, you know, not necessarily modded, but like depending upon how you play it, like they have a thing that's really fun, which it's called, which might actually work better for what you're saying, is there's a mode you can do. I think you have to get a mod for it, but it still works in the game, but it's proximity chat. So as you're walking around,
it's a mod,
which is really funny. So it's kind of like Phasmophobia a little bit, where when you're talking, it comes out of your character. And then when you get closer or further away, so you can hear some stuff going
VR
on.
chats that way. PUBG's that way.
And then there's been some other like
it's like I can hear you.
Like a player mode is that people just make, which is called hide and seek. So at the beginning of the round, everyone knows who the imposter is, and you just have to run and do your tasks and stuff.
That sounds impossible.
And then you're just running away. Well, because like there's kill cooldowns. And when you know who it is, you can run away. So it's just kind of a balancing act. But I've had fun doing the text chat because it's also kind of cool that you can play with anyone anywhere, and they're all cross play because it's super simple.
That's what I was gonna say. This game you can play on mobile, you can play on PC, you can play on
Switch,
all these different places you can play, and it's all
one of those places is free.
Xbox, it's on PlayStation already, I think.
Yeah,
extremely accessible, extremely easy to access.
Yeah,
so.
That's why I would put it as the top multiplayer game of the year. But you know, I don't need it to be top 5.
All right,
but it still is fun.
Okay. I wish I played it. It sounded like something that I could get behind.
Yeah, we can play it.
We are gonna.
Oh no.
I just didn't. I'm sorry.
We will.
It's okay.
We'll play it. We'll stream it.
It's all about how you lie, Ryan. How you at lying.
He's really good at it.
I'm good.
I will say, I haven't actually played.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, you're really good at lying. I don't believe.
I haven't been able to play it in a Discord. So when I've talked to people, we're like face to face, which sometimes it's so hard because you're like looking at a person and saying, no, I was doing this in that place. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah, we're playing a room full of people.
Really?
I mean, all the games all the games I've played is they call the meeting after the first body's found, and it's like, well, purple's sus. Well, fuck you. I'm always purple. Like they always just call me out first, and I have never been the imposter until last week I was playing on break, and I was the imposter for the first time.
Quit being sus then.
Yeah. Stop being purple.
RDM.
While we're on the concept of multiplayer games and COVID, Warzone. That's something that was released in the midst of COVID.
Now, the words game of the year actually pop in my head when I hear that. Honestly,
Warzone, really?
Yeah.
I would agree.
I could agree. I think it's definitely top 5.
Like
my
that
opinion.
game can't go in.
Ryan's like, yikes. Because you don't play it. Get out of here.
I've played it, motherfucker.
You're just bad at it.
Nothing like being constantly.
Just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean I can't have fun, Philip.
To be fair, to be completely honest with you, I freaking hated Warzone. Yeah. I hated it at the start. I barely played it, just like Ryan.
Yeah.
But the more I played it, the more I learned to love it.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
Like,
I learned how people play. It's really just getting used to the game. As soon as you get used to it, it's a freaking blast.
I mean, I should say that I don't like PUBG. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like Battle Royale. Warzone does it right. Warzone is a good game.
I agree. I hate Fortnite.
Yep.
PUBG,
100%. I don't like that style of game. And so for Warzone to be able to suck me in and even get me to play it and enjoy myself while doing it is a triumph in itself.
Yeah.
And also, sorry.
That game just like being able to, so we've always had teams in Call of Duty. Like that's always been a thing. Chat with your team, you know. But for some reason with Warzone, it's just different. It's so
tactical.
Yes. Before it never has. It was like, you know, he's on the right, he's on the left, you know. It was never like now it's
Tell me how you've the last time you talked to somebody like you do in Warzone, like in an arcade, like Call of Duty, like deathmatch or something like that.
When we play gunfight, but that's it.
Yeah, on your left, stuff like that. But like you have to call out everything in this game. Communication is key. Freaking Troy.
Even funds. And like the way
Troy doesn't talk.
One of my favorite things about this game is like, and it's also my least favorite thing, is like every 10 days there's like a billion gigabyte download.
Yeah, that does suck.
And like I didn't have the best of internet and I didn't have the best of time to get download stuff, but it was always getting better and always developing. And like that freaking Halloween update, there was
man, that was one of my favorite things.
That was the coolest fucking thing.
It was like for like 10 days. I'm like, you spent this much time making like almost
and
a
it's gone.
game. It's gone.
Disappeared.
Just like I don't know, like it's like a
bring it
labor
back
of
next
love.
Halloween.
Yeah, that was actually the last time I played Warzone.
Yeah, you played with it was me and Colin.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the pod. And I love that Halloween update. It's fucking cool.
Yeah,
like
jump scares.
So cool.
Wow. Oh, it was a really cool aspect to add.
I got the most jump scares out of anybody, and I.
Yeah, some people didn't get jump scares in forever. Then they finally like, yeah, I've already been jump scared.
I didn't even know
like, you haven't if you just say that. And then
I had never been I didn't know what it was, but I had it happen to me like 4 times. Like I don't know if I sit too far away from my TV for it to affect me or what it was, but I was like,
I don't think I had the volume up long enough because like especially for Call of Duty, if I'm not talking to somebody, like if I'm just in a multiplayer lobby or whatever, I'll just listen to a podcast and play Call of Duty.
That's why he didn't like. He was to hear the footsteps.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I don't.
do that.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the footsteps. If I die, I
His
die.
AD might be 0.01, but you know.
He carries around an LMG
And I
he lays
lay on the ground.
He lays on his belly and on the stairs.
Yep.
different play styles, man.
Yes.
Yep.
That's true.
The more the
Different
merrier.
strokes for different
Now,
folks.
Another thing that also was great about Warzone that I think started help, I don't know necessarily paving the way, but definitely made a big difference was how exceedingly well crossplay was integrated.
Oh,
yes.
Integrated.
I had a
You got it right the
spotty
first
thing with that for sure, but like, no, it was there and it worked for most people except for me.
And I
Like,
mean,
that's
right
the only
now
thing.
it is flawless. Like it works super well
Yeah.
from what I've played.
But
Did you play with all of the platforms, Sam?
basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
Because you
just
mentioned your
constant.
internet wasn't great, so I was wondering if, like, did it translate well, even though your internet wasn't
My
great?
internet was better at that time.
Oh, okay.
So
I got you.
the only difference was it's just like I kept dropping from like lobbies and matches, and I think it actually was not a software. It wasn't like internet issue. It was actually my literal hardware in my computer. It was just super darn old.
Okay.
Like nothing was matching up. Like I would get into a lobby and like, oh, it's frozen because I'm with somebody else in a different console, like an Xbox or something like that. Worked perfectly for PCs, but as soon as I tried playing with my friends with console, it just dropped. But that was a me error. So I had a spotty thing with that. But you are definitely right. It was like it seamless.
Think about now, though. Like, now we have PS5, Xbox Series, both series.
Yeah.
And then you got Xbox One, you got PC, all of those. PS4.
Nintendo Switch. Okay.
No, not yet.
No, they're
It's
not.
coming.
Is it coming?
No.
Put on your soap.
It shouldn't.
So
I don't know if
put
they
me
can
in
do.
their
I don't know if
lobby.
they
It's
can
gonna
do
shred.
that in cloud.
I play on Xbox. He plays on PS5. He plays on PC. I mean, we can all play together. I think that's the thing that.
And then our rando
makes-
dropped in from the PS4.
Yeah.
we do.
And I was playing it on PS4 before with everyone before we went to the PS5.
Yeah.
Now they got to add Discord on all consoles. That needs to
I
happen.
am thinking
Yes.
that needs to happen.
needs
Yeah,
to
for
happen.
Sure. Gamers have risen up, as it were, and
Does
we
it
have
work on Xbox?
unlocked
Yeah, it sucks.
or unlocked
No.
crossplay.
Discord's on Xbox.
I keep hearing about this vote, that vote, but the gamer vote is totally underlooked.
Like, but the weird thing about the whole Discord is with Game Pass Ultimate, you get like a free upgrade in Discord. Like that's one of the perks of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
But those perks work for PC
Yes,
too.
yeah.
So
I guess
I'm
that
thinking
I
makes
don't know
that's
about that. I don't know what those are.
But it advertises it on my Xbox.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's so funny that it's like, oh, play on Discord, use Discord, but you can't.
I think I went to like try and download it, and I'm pretty sure it's
probably
not there.
don't have it, yeah.
Last I checked, it was not there. It sounds like Call of Duty should be Warzone should be somehow differentiated from the rest of this list. So I'm going to tentatively put it in yellow.
Put it in yellow.
Yes.
Put it in yellow.
Like,
yep.
Because it's a potential top 5.
Yeah,
and we all
potential
agree.
top 5, and it sounds like there's a lot of.
if you put it in an amber, it seems too much like P for me.
Amber?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's more
Yeah.
gold.
That's
yeah.
gold, yeah.
I like that.
Gold
I
is
like
fine.
I have lots of gold guns. I understand that concept.
that. All right, does anybody have a game that they played that they honestly don't think should make the list?
I put
or
Doom
should make the
Eternal on
list?
this list as a game that came out this year.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It did.
So you
And
didn't-
I don't want it on this.
No.
Okay, then take it off.
Okay.
Like that
talk
game
about it a
was
little
really
bit, but-
cool. But I tried to play it 3 different times.
Yeah.
And I just it doesn't teach you how to play the game at all.
It's not very instructive. I would agree with that.
I understand that some games are like, I'm not going to hold your hand, but this is like I guess you guys might like that because you like Dark Souls or whatever. But this is literally, it pops up on the screen for a split second. And there's so many things, like you even said, there's not enough buttons on the controller.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Also, the difference
100%.
with Dark Souls is that hey, swing/dodge block.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't really need to teach you much beyond that.
Yes, it's
And it teaches you that.
the teaching you is the timing.
Yeah.
And that's the trial and error
Yeah,
thing.
you learn.
And that's a lot of what Doom Eternal is too. It's like it's the timing of I was fine with this game until I got to the Marauder, if I want to say. So the Marauder is
Did the Marauder hurt you?
the Doom Slayer that is exactly like you. Like he moves like a human person.
He's evil.
And he's evil, but
He's Shadow Link.
He's Shadow Link, exactly. He's Shadow Doom Slayer. And that that enemy encounter, like, fucks up everything you've learned about all the other enemy encounters in the game in a way that, to me, breaks it. Like, I tried for an hour and a half to beat this thing before reducing the difficulty, and I could not figure it out. Like, I tried remapping my controller. I got my Elite controller, and I remapped the dash to the paddle underneath.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't do the things that I need to do with my thumbs. Like, I can't move the camera, move myself, and dash at the same time. So
it sounds like you need like a grand piano, like a MIDI to like plug in your PC.
Exactly. And you need to do all three of those things simultaneously and also shoot and aim at him correctly while avoiding the hell demon or the hell dog that's chasing you. And like, I ran out of ammo. I could not land enough shots to get more health, because there's certain things that you can do to get more health, like starting him on fire. And when you shoot him while he's on fire, that drops armor. And even like killing.
Like, I didn't pick any of that stuff up. Like, I didn't get far enough into the game, but like, I went back to it and played it some more. And like, I had to go back a few saves. And then I don't know how, like, maybe they patched them in, because like, it was like, I didn't read this before. And I think one of the enemies, I actually texted you and was like, why can't I beat this thing? And he's like, you just shoot the thing off the top and it can't hurt you anymore unless you're like within a foot. I was like, why didn't they tell me that?
Yeah.
Why? Like, well, how am I supposed to know? Like, that they haven't, in a video game, there hasn't been that shiny point is the thing you should shoot. Yeah, the weak spot. It doesn't actually do that. And if it wanted me to shoot it, it should like something.
I mean,
give me something.
So I can't remember if that particular one says or not. I don't remember, because like those enemies were from the first game.
Okay.
So I remembered how to kill them from Doom 2016 since I played it very recently. And like,
that makes sense.
Doom Eternal plays very similarly, if not a little bit smoother than Doom 2016. I love the story it's telling. I'm super invested into that. I think that it does a lot of cool things with the multiplayer. I didn't play it enough to get good at it at all in terms of the multiplayer, but I had some fun with it in the matches that I played. I wouldn't have gotten good at it.
No.
Oh, you're probably right.
Target Ryan.
I like Doom Eternal does some things successfully, but I think especially with the Marauder encounters, that's where it loses me. Like, I should not have to reduce my difficulty in order to beat this thing when I've put a lot of time into Doom.
Yeah.
Like, I've played this game a lot. I should be able to beat it on normal fucking difficulty. And beating my head against it for an hour and a half and finally being like, I want to know what happens in this story. You are preventing me from playing this game. Like, I can't move past this and experience more of the story without beating this particular encounter. And like, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
because I think that the story and like the things that Doom Eternal is doing are worth seeing, and that is just game breaking to me. What do you got, Colin?
I mean, I didn't play Doom Eternal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had, because you wanted to bring it up.
No, I was just wondering about Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
I just wanted to hear a little bit
I think it's worth playing.
I haven't really played a whole lot of the new Doom. It's mostly the old. I haven't played Doom 2016.
Okay,
so
you're falling.
I know. I need to play Doom 2016. That is on my list.
Like,
to play,
good.
It
I
looks
haven't
so much
played
fun.
it either. Though.
I'm probably gonna download it when I get home.
Well,
it's gonna happen.
I'd have to say, if you're talking about extended suffering, you could say like, you know, some sort of feeling of doom for eternity. Like, it pretty much fits the bill what you were talking about earlier.
This is my fault.
Yeah.
This is my fault.
You bought the game and you're getting what you asked for.
Like, I mean, I played. I started at the beginning of this game. I was like, this looks cool. I can't wait to play. Like, as I'm starting the game and watching the beginning cutscene, it's like, okay, hell is coming to Earth now. I mean, I think that's what happens at the end of the other Doom, right?
Yeah, it's in 2016.
So I'm like, okay, I like where this is going. Okay, I gotta stop this. You know, yada yada yada. It looks, but just the way it looks, I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. And I couldn't play it. Like no matter, I tried changing my sensitivity because it was like I'm missing shots that I shouldn't be missing. Like I don't know what I was doing wrong. I got to the part with that first like scorpion looking thing. I was like, I'm done. I can't beat this. Like it's on the first level. I can't beat this thing on easy. What is wrong? Like I got this chainsaw and I don't know what this thing does, and I guess it runs out of gas. Why?
Yeah, you only have you have 3. I think
and this is before
you worried about fossil fuels in the future.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Troy. Like this game limits you in super specific ways that the other game didn't. So you can carry like a third of the ammo that you could carry in Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
so part of the point, or sorry, in Doom 2016.
Yeah.
So part of the point is like to force you to use weapons that you may not be very good with.
Yeah.
But like in Doom 2016, I used the shotgun, and I really like fucking shotgunning things. It's so much fun. It feels so good to kill things with the shotgun. And you can't do that in Doom Eternal. Because of your limited amount of ammo, you're forced to cycle through that stuff so fast.
Yeah.
And the chainsaw is used to help gain ammo back.
Yeah.
So that's part
like
of what the chainsaw does. And I had a couple of instances where I was like, I want to chainsaw this thing. I ran up to it. I died. And it didn't work.
Yeah.
So what I learned eventually was that you need to have multiple pulls of the chainsaw in order to kill certain level of enemies. So if you run up to like, say an archdemon or whatever the fuck they're called, the ones that are big and they jump all around, I don't know that one pull of the chainsaw is enough. Like one gas tank, you know, one ammo.
It was the same in 2016.
And I don't specifically remember that. And it may have been.
But you also had more shit.
Yeah, like, you didn't need to rely on the chainsaw to make that happen.
Yeah.
And in Doom Eternal, it forces you to do that. And I don't think the progression works as well either in Doom Eternal that it did in 2016. I think that they nerf the guns in ways that like don't fit my play style from the original game. And like that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
There's no way, like I can see forcing you into a small ammo pool when you start the game. Like, hey, we stripped all this shit back. You know, you've got to rework your way from the top. Like, fine, I like RPGs. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But there are no perks for you to spec in that direction. You cannot upgrade that amount of ammo. That's finite. And like,
that sounds like it sucks the fun out of the game.
It does.
Like hardcore just sucks the fun out.
It does. I was going to ask you, Sam, what is the longest you ever tried to beat a Dark Souls boss?
You don't want to know, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been longer than an hour and a half.
Okay.
Longer than
All
2
right.
hours.
All right.
It's been maybe 6, 7.
All right.
In fact, there's a boss that I still haven't beaten. It's been a few months.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Sekiro. My brother had a hard time beating one.
That's that's weird. Some people struggle. You know, maybe that's a thing with
I struggle.
Doom,
I struggle
where
in Sekiro really bad.
Some people are just like they're able to latch on to different bosses. Like in Sekiro, there's bosses that some people like to
the first boss I can't beat.
Yeah, and some people breeze right through them. Maybe same thing with Doom, where the Marauder's just like I had no problem with the Marauder,
right?
Or like I had no problem with the guy with the little thing on the top. But it just if the
Nobody
shoe
else
fits
did but
differently,
me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could be.
But the ammo thing sounds like it doesn't have. That sounds like it sucks the fun out of it. Like the whole weapon, like using your whole, a different arsenal of weapons. But like, don't force me to do that. If I wanted to use those weapons, I would choose to do that.
So, I think it goes.
Are we We're chainsawing it out.
How many pulls does it take?
Amazing theme song, by the way.
The music is still really good.
Always phenomenal.
Yep.
I think the next one that we could probably go about getting rid of might be Saints Row.
All right, get rid of it.
Okay.
It's remastered.
So Saints Row 3 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Ever.
And we respect it.
I love a lot of things about that game. I think it's hilarious. Just the humor and the use of music in between the kind of the downtime of the game, like where you're driving to a thing because it's an open world game and you need to get there to do the thing. They really keep the player engaged, whereas like say in Grand Theft Auto or other games.
More fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. Like there's so much about Saints Row that's fun. And I think remastering the third one was a cool idea. And they did a really good job on it. Like it looks beautiful. It runs great. You can have like the first one did not run great on 360. So whenever you got up like in a jam, say if you had like a 5-star wanted level and they're sending eight tanks after you, right? And all these helicopters, like that game bogged down in some really, really terrible ways. But Saints Row 3, one of the last quests that I did, you have to ride a helicopter and you are shooting other helicopters down and also tanks and military vehicles. And like, there's so much, because you fly pretty low in some of those helicopter segments. So there's a lot of enemies on screen at one time. And all of it runs flawlessly. Like I didn't have any frame rate issues. It looked really, really good throughout.
And you did when you first played the game, I assume. Like before they remastered.
Before they remastered it, yeah. It was that particular mission especially was, oh man, it's pretty bad. It's not a remake. They didn't do anything to
make it better.
Like make it better in terms of the game. The graphics, the bugs, they ironed a lot of that stuff out, but it's the same game.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the same activities. A lot of the mission structure, I kind of talked about it when I was playing it initially. Yeah. The mission structure is the same. You're playing the same missions, the same voiceovers. All of it still, well, not all of it. All of it doesn't work still. Like a lot of the mission structures are dated. Like it feels dated as an open world game, but it does look good and it plays really good. And it is worth playing, I think. And it's not even a full price release. I think it's a $40 thing, which is good.
Yeah, it'd be good. If it was a full price release and they didn't even remake it,
I wouldn't buy
I'd be like, wow.
So it's definitely worth playing. I appreciate it for what it is. Saints Row 3 is a very funny game. And if you haven't played Saints Row, this is definitely the one to play. They also included a multiplayer in this game. So they have a horde mode, which is spelled WHORED. Horde mode.
I don't get it.
So it's really bad, actually. That mode is fucking garbage. I did not play it with anybody else, but playing it by yourself, there's some things to like about it. There's randomly generated enemies in each level, or that's what it seems like. So you might have a level where they're running at you like zombies. You might have a level where all the enemies are huge. You have a level where you're huge and you need to take out all the enemies. All the enemies had dildo bats in one of them.
And they were huge.
Or I got a dildo bat in one of them, and it's like
it was huge.
Super powered.
Like basically challenge mode.
Yeah, it's like a but it's wave based.
Yeah.
So each wave is a different randomly generated thing for you to take down. And I'd imagine if I had other people to play it with, it might have been a little bit better for me to do that. Yeah. But playing it by myself really did not, because the difficulty ramps up pretty quickly. Yeah. And I don't have enough firepower to make it much further in that. And I just got a little bit frustrated because I think I got 7 or 8 levels into the horde mode and I just died. And like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The randomly generated thing seemed like it was fun and would keep you engaged, but also like I got fucked because of that.
Yeah.
I did not have a huge amount of fun with it, so we can take it off for sure.
All right, that officially pushes that a top 10.
Shoot, I feel like I want to talk about this next one because like I don't understand how.
Before we get too far, let's run through the list, Sam.
Top 10
for the listeners.
Top 10 Savant-worthy games.
Let's run through the list. We've got Cyberpunk 2077 in no particular order. The Complex, Nexomon Extinction, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Demon Souls Remake, Animal Crossing New Horizon, and Super Mario 35.
Quick, can you change the Tony Hawk's 2 remake? Because it's a remake, not a remaster.
Yeah, it's not genuine to the article.
He is correct.
I will change.
Well, that makes it better.
I don't... Okay. We should keep the wording the same. If we're going to call Demon Souls that, we should keep the wording the same. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 Remake.
And also Warzone is on it. Don't forget.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, also Warzone, but that one we've put in gold So that is a potential for top 5.
So Sam, what were you?
Oh yeah, I just don't get this game. Like I remember, like my friends were inviting like a bunch of people over to come and see.
What game? Wait. What game?
I know. I'm gonna.
Okay. It's a big reveal. Here we go.
See this.
Go ahead, Sam.
Animal Crossing. What the heck?
Yep. I know.
I remember seeing like the DS version for this game. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. Everybody's got like their own thing. But like
it's Harvest Moon,
dude. This is so darn popular. It like beats everything out of the water.
Yeah, it does.
With like
20 million right away.
My stepdad borrowed my Switch and he doesn't play video games. He's like, hey, mind if I
it's like
play your Switch much? No?
Dude, I don't
think about playing some Animal Crossing. What?
You played
Right.
it? Out of all the games you decided to play, Animal Crossing.
He doesn't play any games at all, and he was like, Animal Crossing.
Okay, he has a PS4, but he doesn't really ever play games on it.
Yeah,
just kind of has a PS4 like most households.
Like it's like this is my Netflix machine.
Yeah.
Exactly. He had like Sony, PlayStation Now, whatever. I can't remember it was like whatever cable they had. They had like PlayStation cable for a while.
PlayStation Network.
He had that, and that's mainly what he used it for. So he played some games. But yeah, he used to play Animal Crossing. And so when it came out of this, he's like, can I borrow a Switch?
Your Switch was gone almost this entire year.
Dude, it was.
Yeah.
And I kept asking my mom, I was like, hey,
Animal Crossing came out, right?
Is Jamie still playing the Switch? She goes, yeah, he does almost every night still.
No, he just.
I'll come back in a couple months. Finally got my Switch back, by the way.
Did he buy his own?
I know, not yet. I left him with Animal Crossing though.
Yeah, check your messages.
I told him, I was like, dude,
switch back.
I was like, dude, I don't have a whole lot of save stuff that I'm too worried about. I was like, if you just want to like buy me a Switch or something, because it was basically new and I let you have it.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with a Switch Lite at this point.
Yeah, but he said he wasn't really too concerned about it, so he just gave it back. No, I still feel bad.
He's like, I'm not gonna admit to you that I'm addicted to this game, but your mom already told on you.
Yeah, I still have it downloaded.
This game became a cultural phenomena when it came out, and like, I bought it. I did not play it. I watched Rachel play it. She played it for like, I don't know, a week and a half.
I think I played it for a month straight. That was it.
And just pretty
like
much fell off of it.
10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I guess that's the draw of this game. Is like I can play it for I can play it for 10 minutes and then I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
And then I come back at nighttime right before I can stop selling stuff, sell the stuff, and then it goes on to the next day when I wake up in the morning and I try again.
Yeah, I already have a job.
Same.
That I've got to get up and do, and like but like the cultural phenomenon that this game became is mind blowing. They host talk shows in this fucking game.
Yes.
What are people doing?
Like concerts and stuff.
Nothing. That's why it's so popular. They had nothing else to do.
Switch is sold out. Switch is sold out, and I believe because of this game.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
Because of this game.
I was able to get a Switch for me and my wife like the week before they all sold out. Like,
and it was for this game, right?
Yeah, it was for this game and because of COVID.
Right.
But like, which again is why this game is huge. Like, Animal Crossing has always had a cult following. It's been a big game, but not to this level.
No.
Because it came out at just that time. Everybody could get a Switch.
Yeah.
A Switch was
perfect
affordable.
storm.
Yeah.
Perfect
get
storm.
the light.
But this is
And then
there's lots of other games on the Switch. Why this game? Like, why do I come over to my friend's house? He's like, look at all these fish in the tank. And I go, cool. Like, is that the game? Like, you catch
the game? Yeah.
You literally catch fish.
Yeah,
Catch
like,
bugs.
I mean, to be fair, that's what my dad told me when I played Minecraft. Just another 8-bit game that you're playing on your supercomputer.
Yeah.
On your supercomputer.
You got me there, buddy. You got me there. Yeah, your computer can run COD.
Hey, it has ray tracing now, okay?
You can play Call of Duty on Ultra with, like, everything.
Right.
But you're going to play this game.
I understand how it looks to older generation. I understand.
It's so fun, though.
How does this thing, since it's virus themed, like how because of COVID, like how does this spread from one person to another where a lot of people would buy this game? But Did, like they see it in like the top ranked or something like that? So, like who looks at this game and says, I want to do that?
I know exactly what happened. I think I know.
Do that.
So
bad.
And that's what it was. Yeah. Like, we're all at home. What better way to spend this time? And they marketed it like
than work.
That like, what better time to spend my time at home than to go to a deserted island and make it populated?
So it was like an itch? It was like an itch to get out.
Like
It's to do stuff.
Like I can go visit my friend's island. I can't go to my friend's house. I can go to their island.
That's fair. So it's like their own personal space. It's like club.
Yeah, it's kind of like VR. I get that VR. People make their own
yeah.
places and stuff like that. I understand.
Because the game Animal Crossing, the new one that's different from this one than the other ones, is the other ones were in like a town.
Yeah.
And you do the town where this is a island getaway vacation, and then you fix it up. And it's just
work.
Simple tasks, simple fun things to do, interactions with cute characters.
So, I mean, if we want to delve into the fun things to do, like I know you can fish.
Fish is my favorite thing to do.
Kind of grow plants.
And you can dig for stuff.
You can fish.
Not everywhere.
You can dig for
Sometimes
stuff.
you can't
have
dig.
to make relationships with your characters, and then they get better. And they you can upgrade their houses. You
like
can upgrade
Sims.
Your house. It's about
is.
decorating the island and your house. Like in this one, more so than the other ones, I think. You can do more decorating of the island itself.
Sims and
you can make the
Homescapes.
whole thing like your own stuff.
Okay.
Now I can defend this like crazy, but I don't have issues with it coming off of the list because I pretty much just would be like, this is just a phenomenon, and it just was crazy.
Well,
20
that's the
million
perfect
like in a
storm.
month.
That's
is
great. That's a
ridiculous.
phenomenal game, if you ask me. Like, if it's a phenomenon, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it deserves maybe a top. I think it stays on the list for sure because like there's
For
something
top 5 though.
There's an X factor to this that I don't understand.
But
and
that,
it's
this is
crazy.
ours though. You don't talk about the whole
That's true.
population of
Yeah.
the world. This
Like-
is Savantworthy.
That's fair. That's
Did
Did you even play the game, Sam?
I did a little bit, just a little bit.
Does Phil still play it?
My wife plays it every day all the time and does everything all the time. I got caught up in other games, and then I just kept getting behind. But I still have it, and I want to go back and see my island. Because like another thing that takes place that makes this thing good is it is real time and everything is recorded. So if you stop doing stuff, your villagers and friends in the game know that.
Yeah.
So like, let's say if I go back now, didn't do time travel, like changing it, they'd be like, dude, you've been gone for like a year. What's up? And I'd be like, sorry. So if I go back, my house is going to be filled with cockroaches. Weeds are going to be all over the island, and I'm going to have to, like reintroduce myself.
Honestly, I ran out of weeds on my island, and it was like sad.
Well,
I
it's
ran
'cause you
out of
kept
weeds.
playing it.
Ran out of weeds, and it shouldn't happen. Like I should not.
It's because you're doing a good job.
So I
cleaning.
should never make a progress.
They grow every day.
It's like
that the
death and
goal?
taxes, and then there's weeds.
Like there's like recipes in this game that are like based on weeds, and then you have to
do well.
And I was like,
can also get
I'm
weeds on-
gonna get rid of all these weeds. And then I screwed myself, and it was before I could go to the next, like, take the little pelican thing over.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to make this stuff, and I can't now because at the beginning of the game, there's not much to sell, but you can sell weeds. Like I sold a lot of weed.
I bet
in
you
this
can
game.
in Colorado.
I sold a lot of weed.
Wow.
It was a drug dealing experience right there. Like
Drug dealing for kids.
Gosh,
Virtual.
Pelican was flying high, wasn't it?
Oh,
So we
so
love
high.
the game, not necessarily love it, but we get that it's a phenomenon, but
Yeah.
it's not our top 5.
I want to get Austin's thoughts here. It sounds like Austin had something to say.
Well, I only played it for like a week, but then I just realized that you have to wait longer and longer for stuff to be made.
Kind of
And,
kicks you off the game.
Yeah, and it kind of kicks me out. I mean, I explored the
Clash of
island,
Clans.
like Clash of Clans. Yeah, oh, God,
Yeah, it's
I
like
hate that.
mobile
Oh.
game hook, right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I explored the island. I went to other people's islands. I mean, I took stuff from their island. I stole stuff from their island.
Me too.
Raided.
Some stuff like
Plundered.
Yeah, I plundered their
It's
island.
a no grief server, sir.
I mean, there's only so
Rust.
much you can do.
Yeah,
the
there's-
multiplayer component is kind of terrible.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I played it for like a week, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be sitting here just. All right, building. All right, 2 days, I'll come back, I guess. And some.
So you fell off it pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As soon as I had to wait a whole day for a bridge to be built, I was like, I'm fucking done.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done.
Like, I have a pole. I can just jump across this.
Yeah.
Why do I have to build a bridge? I don't want a bridge. I don't want my villagers to have easy access to my plants over there. Those are my
Those are
plants.
mine.
That's my weed.
You can't smoke it. You got to buy it.
Exactly. I have the market in a corner, and they're trying to
means of production.
It's like, we can help you pick the weed if you just give us a bridge. No. I'm going to jump that on a pole, and then you're going to buy the weed from me.
Do you have the athletic ability that I do? I didn't think so. I'm not building you a bridge.
I didn't think
so. Tom Nook is going to pay. I got to pay him to build a bridge? No. I have the money here. I have the power.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Politics simulator.
Hey, turn that thing red, would you?
Yeah, let's
Okay, all right.
Sorry, Animal Crossing. It is good.
We
It's
can
phenomenal.
Sorry, 2 million people out there that want our heads. Like,
it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I guarantee we're gonna get some listeners. Like, all right, now listen to the pod. Anyway.
Yeah, what do we do? You fucking take it off.
This isn't personal, guys. Come on, it's not personal.
This game affected me so well.
Super Mario 35. Troy?
Yep.
What do you think about Super Mario 35?
Dude, it is fun.
It's fun?
Like this game.
All right. Yellow.
No. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But
so it's not top 5.
It's not top 5.
All right.
I'll say that outright.
Read it out.
You can read it out, but I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it.
So this game takes the first Mario game, and you play it competitively, like almost
Super Mario Bros. Original.
Like original on the NES.
So it's like that Tetris 99 thing?
It is exactly like that, but 35 people. Okay. And you get to like send people like enemies. As you, like if you kill them and you have there's certain just like in Tetris where you're like, I want to attack the person with the highest score, or I want to attack other attackers and like drop bad pieces in their pool. This does that, but in real time with enemies. So like, and I watched the player one. He hung out with us when we bought our Xboxes.
Oh yeah.
He is amazing at this game. I've never but I mean that's his thing is retro games. That's what he streams, retro games all the time.
Okay.
I saw him beat Friday the 13th for the NES in like 13 minutes or something crazy.
Jeez.
Wow.
he called the police. He goes, "There's a murder."
But this game
solved.
Use his cell phone.
This game takes like Mario and makes it competitive in a way that you wouldn't think is possible. And I'm wanting them to continue on. I don't know if they will. According to right now, they're not.
Yeah.
At March whatever.
Yeah. 30. I think it's 31st.
March 31st this year, this game is gone. And there's no way to play it anymore. The servers are off. You can't play it. Like, there's millions of people that play this game daily, and it's just gone. Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's weird.
They have the power. That's why they had the magazine.
So
Not
when
exactly
you
the friendliest of
I
things.
kind of want to
like that
see
joke,
what
Troy.
this game looks like.
I think that's probably a
pull
good
up
idea.
Some
Can
video
Can you do world
here.
skips?
Yes.
Is it by score or is it by completing the
do you
game?
No, you like have to kill the other people. Like they have to die.
Okay, so it's Battle Royale.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know that we need 35 minutes of it.
Maybe it might just be
skip.
Mario 35.
Oh, is it Super
No,
Mario?
it's Super Mario
Super Mario
35, I think.
Oh, well, then go to YouTube.
He doesn't have YouTube.
I mean, I can.
Well,
type
you're
it in.
you're searching on Bing. That's
I'm
all.
on the internet.
Who has
Can you-
Bing?
You're on Bing.
He's always
I'm
on Bing.
Microsoft
You're lucky dirty
points.
videos didn't go up there. Bing is like eager and willing to put up like dirty
I have
stuff.
not noticed that because I've been searching.
Yeah, because you're used to it.
just go to that insane match right there. That'll be perfect.
Another
This guy here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna click it.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Oh, what's
That's
this,
not the one. The
Japanese
Oh, the one in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
WandaVision.
I won't show that yet.
Thank you.
Boo.
Yeah.
Ads.
Oh, that's an ad
Skip.
too. There we go.
Okay.
Skip ahead.
Hey guys,
Okay.
Just skip ahead. Yeah, skip like halfway through.
So this game takes 30. Like right now, he's got 4 people left in the screen. So as you're going through and kill these people, they're dropping into other people's lobbies, and they have to fight them. Like the ones
So
that
are these people knocked out? Is that what this indicates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
and you can send little
So for the listeners, we have a main screen here where you are playing your Super Mario
you
game.
have a small like 4x3.
And you have tiles around you that indicate all of the other players, and you can see them playing their games in real
Freaking
time.
Bowser.
At this point, he's got Bowser in the first level 1-1. Like, how does that happen? Besides, somebody else just beat Bowser and sent it to him.
You have to sabotage your
Okay.
opponent.
Yes.
Okay.
That's cool.
So like, it is literally
He's playing
battle
real
royale.
smart right now, man.
Yeah.
What is
And
that line
see this
for?
wins today 9. I saw player 1 get up to like 29 wins in a day.
Jeez, I feel like if I knew where all the power-ups were, which I know most of them, then I'd feel like I'd do a good job.
So can you choose where you send the, like, say player 24 wants to send it to you, can he choose to send it to you?
He can't choose to send it specifically to you.
Okay.
So there's send the enemies to like the guy that's scoring the best.
Yeah,
or the guy that
he just sent an enemy at him.
Or the guy that's got the most time left. You see it up there. It says random attackers, most coins, or lowest time.
Okay.
So if you want to knock out all the people that are like bad at the game, you just go to lowest time. But I always just go to attack all other attackers.
Okay.
So and then like you see how he's only attacking one person right now at a time. Like when you do that, if they're on the attackers, like you got red lines going everywhere. So
yeah,
when
the
you
red lines look like sniper shots.
Yes,
yeah.
so
I'm about to get you.
You killed all of those guys, and every one of those guys goes to every other attacker.
Okay,
and it's really cool how they made a game this old battle royale.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, I like that concept.
That's super cool, and that's.
I feel like I'd
weird that they're gonna decide to take it down.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like a game that like would be like. How is it? Is it negative? Is it negative to keep it open? Like
I don't.
This is a free game,
like,
right? Troy? You've got to have Nintendo Online.
Being weird.
You have to have Nintendo Online, and then you get this game for free.
Okay.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Not the most consumer friendly when it comes to this weird stuff for no reason.
Like
because they can.
I think it's. I mean. Maybe it's because they want to pull it back and add stuff to it, which they could do in real time. But maybe, I mean, it's a Nintendo and they don't have to.
Right. Yeah. Real quick to Twitch user Cosmic, KOSIM or KOSMIC, twitch.tv/Cosmic for providing the video for this segment.
And
I would be kind of mad if somebody used my video without a shout out. So yeah, appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll try to tag you or something.
Yeah, we can tag him.
Back to our top, I think it's 8.
So like, yeah, we can drop this game, but anybody who has a Switch and Nintendo Online, play this game. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top 8. Cyberpunk, The Complex, Nexomon Extinction, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Demon Souls Remake.
Did anyone else play The Complex?
Nope.
I have not.
Nope.
So the Complex is a choose your own adventure game, basically.
Oh, I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
Is this the one with the trippy cave?
Yeah. No, that's Moons of Madness.
Oh, okay.
We actually removed that one last episode.
Yes.
So it was on the list, but Moons of Madness did not quite
Got second and best story.
Yep. Good game. So, Austin, do you remember Bandersnatch? We talked about it a long time ago on the podcast.
That sounds familiar.
It was a Black Mirror, that Black Mirror Bandersnatch thing on Netflix. So it's basically that. Like, it's a full motion video game where you are playing as a character, like a real person. And in this case, it's Katie from Letterkenny.
Oh,
so
that's
her name.
Why Brian played this game.
Oh, that's cool, actually.
Yeah, because I think she's hilarious. She's great. I believe her name in real life is Michelle. So she's kind of the main character in this game, and she plays a person that is working for like basically the CDC, who is preventing an infection from getting out to the world.
When did this come out?
This year.
Oh, wow. How, like early in the year?
Oh,
God.
Yeah, like February.
I'm guessing you don't win in the end.
Uncanny.
So it's super like weirdly on the nose in ways that you didn't think it would be. And I'm sure they didn't think it would be when they made this game.
This is crazy. This would never happen. And
Year 2019, Wuhan, China.
So yeah, you play as, I actually don't remember her character's name in the game, but you play as Katie from Letterkenny, and you start off the game by going to a boardroom, and your choices in the game, it's kind of like Life is Strange, where your choices super matter.
Yeah.
Like it matters to how you're going to make it through. And when I first played this game, Rachel and I kind of played it together. She was like watching me play it because it's basically a movie. Like, all the scenes are shot. There's not a whole lot of like graphics to it.
That's how I was playing tell me why.
Okay.
In the living room, Brenda's watching.
Oh yeah.
Same kind of concept.
Same kind of concept for sure. But like,
what should I do?
That's more of an adventure game. So
yeah,
this is setting you up in scenes like you don't control
anything,
Michelle.
Yeah,
you are watching those scenes play out and then choosing like in important moments what she says. Like it's kind of Mass Effect-y in like, here's the tone of what you want to say versus here's word for word what you want to say.
Do you want to be a prick right now?
Exactly. So you start off in a boardroom and like one of the guys in the boardroom makes a joke because you're a girl working in a primarily male dominant field. So you can choose to like be an asshole to him and put him in his place or kind of just take a submissive role in that particular segment. And I'm not 100% sure how all those play out because I only played through it twice. And it's really good about letting you replay those segments once you beat the game. Okay. It's like, is that really the choice you wanted to make? Do you want to back up for a second? So on your second playthrough, you can be like, oh, okay, if I do this, then this happens. For instance, when you get through that boardroom segment, that boardroom segment gets interrupted by one of the other characters being like, hey, we got to go. Like some shit's going down. You don't have time to be in this boardroom right now pitching this business meeting.
These birds are dying in Wuhan and ain't nobody talking about it.
We got to fucking go. So you have a choice though. Like you can just stay if you want to and fight that guy in the boardroom and still talk about like trying to do your business pitch, which is why you're there. Or you can go with her immediately. And if you don't go with her immediately, it's more likely that you'll die in the next segment. So you can choose, when you leave from that segment, you go to a car wreck and you've got to kind of like do a tiny little bit of detective work to figure out what the car wreck was caused by. And then there is a person that was in that car wreck and you have to choose when to transport them and how. So you can choose a helicopter. You can choose the ambulance. You can choose this experimental fucking aircraft that'll book it right to the place and it'll beat you there. And there are pros and cons for choosing those things. And that's how all the choices are. Like there's pros and cons every time, but you don't necessarily know what those are before you experience them.
So that sounds really like riveting, actually, like for as far as story and like how it's played. But
it's only about 2 hours long. Like it's like a movie length, basically. It's like playing a movie.
But to me, like when I'm looking at games in my store or something like that, if I wanted to find that game, I'd look under like entertainment versus like a game or something like that, video games.
And that's why I brought up the Netflix thing, to kind of like, this is the most like comparable thing that we have talked about before on the show. That would be this. So yeah, there's not a lot of game. The story is worth experiencing, I guess, because you don't really play it. I did, like I said, go back through and make some of those choices. So like some of the choices get pretty harrowing once there's a portion where you have to make it to the bunker, and that's where you are kind of like assessing the situation. And you get actually locked in that bunker and some enemies come towards you and you've got to choose like how to kill them. You can like flip a switch and they all die, or do you want to let them in? Like, and what happens if you let them in too is kind of important. And the character interaction is super important. There's another character that goes with Michelle to the bunker and you and him have a history. So you're not really sure like, what exactly that history is. So part of it is like you and him working through the things that in your past that have caused difficulties between you two. And I didn't really see where the story was going to go when I started it. So I think in that way, it's pretty surprising. And there's also multiple endings. Like there's an ending where Michelle causes like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like there is an ending where you're like, fuck it, I'm done. And you just let that virus get into the world.
That's what happened.
This is a true story.
Ryan did it.
Story.
Ryan did it.
And I won't like the character interactions and the multiple different endings. I think there's 8 or 10 different endings that you can get. And it depends on your relationship level with those characters as you're playing through. There's different things that you do that certain characters like and certain characters don't like. There is an official, like, 100% achievement unlocked good ending that I didn't ever understand, like, the relationships of the characters enough to make that happen.
Yeah. So you can play your cards. You have cards to play, and you can play the game, but it's just like a little bit at a time. So.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's cool experience. I think it's worth playing. It was one of the best games or experiences, I guess, that I had this year. But as terms of like game?
Is it a game or is it a movie?
It sounds like something I'd like to try.
Yeah,
it's like a Netflix interactive movie,
like a ride.
For sure. So it can go. That can get the red X here.
See, I thought when it was the complex, I thought we were going to talking about your like Xbox hoarding complex is what it was.
No.
He hoards hard drives now because of all the games he's hoarded
He's
over
actually
the years.
selling his Xboxes to get more hard drives.
We're almost down to a top 5.
I think the other one that I could argue against going would be Valhalla.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hot take.
All right.
Who played Valhalla? Raise your hands.
I did.
Show your hands. Those two.
Me and Austin played
All
it.
right, fight.
Fight.
But
Defend
we
it.
both
Let me get the knives.
We'll give an example of why it's good, because me personally, I go with the fact that it and
Look,
Ghost
you
are
can have a
similar.
cat on your ship. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Game of the year.
Gold it.
No.
Yep.
Gold it.
Ryan, you think it's game of the year?
Gold it. I didn't play enough of it. I watched some clips of Troy playing it, and I didn't.
If you don't gold it, I'm going to take a highlighter to your TV.
Okay.
you can pet cats too.
I mean, I like the way this. I haven't played a whole bunch of it, but I do like the way the story starts off, and you're a Viking, and you're trying to find your place in this world of Vikings. Is where I believe it's gonna go. You've beat it, right, Austin?
No, I'm close to though.
Close,
I'm very close.
Okay.
It's a very long game.
Yes, I mean it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about some of the things that this game does differently from other Assassin's Creed, Austin?
So this one is obviously Vikings, so it's more snowy,
badass.
Yeah, you get instead of getting like a sword and a shield, maybe you can unlock an ability where you can have 2 weapons. So like in the trailers, there's like a guy with double axes.
Yeah.
But you also can have like one huge 2-handed axe in one hand and then a long sword in the other hand. Yeah. So and there's another ability where you can switch it up. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, there's different stuff with different like there's daggers. I mean, there's not a lot of variety of weapons as like origins and stuff like that. Yeah. But still, like there's each one of these are pretty cool looking, and when you upgrade them, you can get different skins for them. And this one is also there's a raiding aspect of it too. You get a longship. Since it's in England, there's lots of rivers in England and lots of monasteries for pillaging and getting some resources.
So is that what it is? Like you as a Viking are invading England?
So like basically, I don't know exactly.
Is this Norsemen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the
I know.
Viking show,
Netflix show Norsemen, right? That's what we're talking about.
Actually, Norseman's based off of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
so weird thing that happened to me. My wife, we're pregnant. One of her friends at work is pregnant, and she brought up a name, and I was like, "No, that's from Assassin's Creed." I said, "You're saying it wrong. How do they spell it?" Well, I don't know how they spell it, how she spells it, but she was calling it Ivor. I was like, "No, it's Eivor. It's Eivor." She's like, "No, that's not how she said it." I said, "I don't care." She got it from a show. I was like,
Ubisoft. My dad works at Ubisoft.
Well, now, in accordance with that, they might not even have the correct pronunciation.
I don't care. I just like
because in the actual Norse mythology, it's Valhalla, and Thor is Thor. Like the pronunciation they have in their games isn't even right. So,
I skipped that class.
Yeah. I know. I've just seen some people that do like the discussions in Norse stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like none of them pronounce it right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
None of the games do.
Yeah, if you start doing that with normal people, they're like, Thor? What? That doesn't sound, no.
Yeah.
Thor.
It's like Thor. Haven't you seen the Avengers?
Have you seen the Avengers? Obviously, they're not going to change stuff like that. And like Valhalla, and how'd you say it?
It's Valhalla.
Valhalla. No, man, that just doesn't sound as good, you know. But now,
well, if you get an actual person who does like the Norse stuff, right, it does sound cool.
Yeah,
actually,
not when we say it.
No, it's like Valhalla.
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 So
I went down to Valhalla.
So the weapons are different. It sounds like.
And then you're what did you say before that? Like, what's different?
Yeah, how is this different from other Assassin's Creed games?
Oh, okay, so
because this is running in the vein of like Origins and Odyssey, right? Like in that time, style.
Yeah. So it happens before the first Assassin's Creed game. Like I'd say a good 1,000 years, maybe.
Yeah. So this is before Origins.
No.
Oh, okay.
Assassin's Creed 1.
No, it was like it's Odyssey before the birth of Christ, and then and then Origins is after the birth of Christ.
Okay.
So then this one's like 400, 500 years after that, something like that.
Assassin's Creed Earth Cooling.
Dinosaur.
Yes!
I would play that.
You got a hidden blade, but it's a velociraptor claw.
That might become a thing. I don't know. I can see
I'll
it.
take it, yeah.
I'm good.
You're just a monkey.
Please have Sam Neill voice that.
So I mean, this is kind of like
finds a way.
This is kind of like the TV show Vikings. They're getting overpopulated in like wherever they're living at, in either Normandy or Denmark, wherever it's at, and they like gold, and then obviously the places in like Normandy, Denmark, the soil is not as
they can't grow.
They can't grow anything. But in England, it's all dirt, mushy, goldness, good,
Okay.
And then there's plenty of monasteries to raid because, like, who in the right mind in England, like all Christians, would raid a monastery worshiping God? None of them would. So there's basically no defenses on them at all.
Oh, yeah.
So, and another main thing is
it's ripe for the picking. You can
it's
say
ripe for the pillaging. But basically, it's them trying to go over there and start a settlement and live there instead of being all packed up like sardines in a dirty, snowy, uninhabitable environment in Normandy, Sweden, Denmark, all that. But yeah, I mean, the main thing about the difference is that there's siege modes now, kind of.
Okay.
So when you take over a territory, Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, it's made by the same people, but each territory you take over, there's a siege basically that happens, and the sieges get better and better and better. I would say because there's more defenses for each siege. You can either go in there secretly and like sabotage them, or you can like attack them frontal attack.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it like you're sieging a castle?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes. So you got a battering ram. You don't have catapults or anything like that, but you got ladders. You can climb the walls. You can go around, open the door yourself, and then they can just come in even without using the battering ram. But yeah, I mean, the sieges and the raiding system is what separate this from a lot of other games. The other Assassin's Creeds, I mean.
The siege part, is it kind of like Shadow of War, where then
Yes.
you climb up the thing, and
yes.
Are you basically like the strongest guy that basically is the end all be all of who's gonna win this war, or is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
okay.
because
it always is in Assassin's Creed. That's how it is.
Yeah.
You're the powerhouse.
I mean, pretty much in every game, really.
I bet Ratbag's there. He's still not dead.
How is the combat? I've heard it can be a little clunky.
I mean, it can be depending
the weight
on.
is a little not so great from what I've heard.
Depending on what weapons you use, I would say. Yeah. I mean, when I go with like double axes, I just feel like a god.
Yeah.
Really. If I do like two big, huge weapons, yeah, it's gonna definitely be clunky because I have this big giant sword that I'm swinging, another sword I'm swinging around everything. But I mean, if I have like two small weapons like a dagger and an axe or something like that, then it feels a lot better, I would say.
So the clunkiness, you could say, like, seems like it might be on purpose.
Yeah.
Like you try wielding two fucking claymores.
You can
that's
also
a two-handed weapon in Skyrim.
I'm a helicopter.
I mean, you can run around with two shields too, or just run around with a shield. Yeah, you don't have to have a weapon. You can use your bare fist.
Two shields would be pretty badass. Whacking people in the face with shields. I'm Captain America.
And then each
Come at me.
each weapon has its own like executions too.
Okay.
So like
that's pretty cool.
Big long sword, you stab him in the back, and then you just rip up, and it like tears their head off. Yeah, it gets some gruesome stuff. Yeah.
Badass.
How strong
Or
are
like
these Vikings?
you get an axe, like a small axe. You like hit him in the neck once, you hit him again, and then you punch his head off. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's kind of stuff like that in there.
Are you sure you're not playing like God of War or something?
Yeah.
It seems like it.
That's
like,
awesome.
One thing that I found about this game is the exploring is really like just I was on the first little bit in that snowy mountain. I'm like, I don't want to leave. I'm just gonna keep climbing the mountain, and
the snow looks good.
And the snow looks great. You're leaving a path through the snow as you're climbing this mountain, and you got to go to the top to visit this lady and have a vision. But the whole time I'm like, I don't care where I'm supposed to be going or even know at some points. I'm like, I just want to look at stuff and like pull out my bow and shoot a fox that's running by. And like, I could just do that.
There's a fox.
Day.
Just kill it, not eat it.
I mean, one other thing.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I would.
Jeez.
You don't eat foxes.
One other thing, the side quests they're called mysteries, and basically you go up to it and you kind of have to figure out yourself. You have to listen to what the people say and kind of figure out what is exactly happening.
Because it's not a fetch quest.
Yeah, it's not a fetch quest. It's not going to tell you, hey, go to here and go to point B, and it's going to tell you where to go. You're going to have to get hints from that little side mission on what to do and where to go.
Okay.
Using thinking brain rather than stab, run.
There have been times where I had no idea what to do because I didn't pay attention to what they said.
Yeah, like, oh crap, I skipped that.
Yeah, I skipped that. Like he's like, oh yeah, go out to the water, and he tells me where to go exactly, and I'm just like, oh, I forgot where to go. But it's like literally, like you can kind of, I mean, it gives you other hints than that, like where to exactly go, and it's usually not too far where you like have to go all the way to the other side of the map and find out what the heck he's talking about. Usually it's around that same general area.
Okay.
But a lot of those the mystery quests are pretty fun and weird. Like I found this monk like in his little farm, and he's like, oh, I am such a devout monk, you know, I'm such a good person, and like even if you destroyed my stuff, I wouldn't be mad. So I just start destroying his stuff. So he's like, oh, you destroyed my food, I'm not mad. And then, you know, you just keep on going until like you dump something on him, and then he gets up and there's a key under him that he was sitting on, and he's like, oh, you stop, please, like, you know, and then you grab the key and he's like, oh, put that key back, like so then you have to like search around his house.
My butt plug.
Piss off a
Not my
monk.
butt plug. But you have to kind of figure out, it doesn't tell you where to go, but like there's a shack behind the house, and you open the door to the shack and there's dead bodies everywhere. And then it turns out this monk was killing Vikings or Norsemen because they murdered and killed his other fellow monk people. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, there's like stuff like that.
Like the John Wick of monks.
Literally. Yeah. He's like, oh no, you found my spot. You guys killed my dog.
I swear I wasn't gonna eat them.
I mean, there's stuff like that with just these side quests. They don't mean anything to the actual story, but like the actual side quests, they're just so unique and weird, and it has some like Easter egg kind of stuff that relates to other games and stuff like that. Yeah. But there is a ton of them, and they don't really give you any like pointer to go that way, you know.
Like,
but
that one's important and that one's not, but I'm not going to tell you about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That sounds like some departures from the other games in some cool ways, like especially without the hand holding stuff. Because I think that was Malcolm played a lot of Origins, and that was one of his big complaints with
Odyssey.
Origins.
Was
it Odyssey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that turns grinding into questing, basically.
Yeah.
Because anybody can follow a waypoint.
Yep.
Right.
And you just do it over and over again, you get enough XP. No matter what the quest or the context is, it might be fun along the way, but to actually work through a problem, that's questing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything negative about it?
Sounds like it.
It is glitchy sometimes. There are some times where, I mean, it's a big game with a lot of. I mean, it's not like a small wasteland desert place like Origins is. There's like actual like towns and cities, multiple cities and towns and villages and farmland and animals all over the place. But I mean, yeah, it gets glitchy a lot of the times, definitely.
What are you playing on?
Xbox Series X.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't get much better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I've had some times where it didn't play well.
Yeah.
Or like Even in the whole vision thing, I was like, it freaked out on me kind of funny, and then I had to go back a little bit and like figure out what it was supposed to be doing because it didn't like what it was trying to do.
Yeah, I've had a couple times where I like subtitles. So anything I play, especially with this game, I like subtitles, but like the subtitle thing would be stuck on the screen, and I'd be
because it's trying, like it acts like it's translating what they're saying to English.
Yeah,
like it goes like this flippy thing, and then sometimes it's still flipping when they're done talking. It's like, you're not gonna tell me what he said, or am I supposed to figure it out? I should know the language by now. Is that what you're saying? Am I that bad?
You figure it out, stupid.
Yeah, I'm done telling you what this means. I'm not Google.
Imagine playing a game. It doesn't hold your hand at all. It speaks an entirely different language.
You should know by now. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that's cool though, because you slowly learn the language.
Damn, that was a good argument for Assassin's Creed there.
Do you feel like that's top 5?
It is my top 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was okay with Spider-Man Morales going because
potential top
Well, I more or less was kind of potentially pitting it against Ghost because they're somewhat similar, and I feel that Ghost is substantially better.
It is because it's a lot compact, more smaller. I mean, it's a big map. Yeah, it's a big map. Don't get me wrong, but it's still like smaller than what that is.
Yeah, who win a fight? Assassin's Creed guy?
I don't know why they have to go against each other.
Yeah,
I'll gold it
because it's
a potential. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make it.
Yeah,
it's potential top 5. It doesn't mean it is. But for now, let's try to see some other
we've got
games.
How many left?
I'm down to 7.
Well, if Valhalla is staying, and I know how hard I'm going to be fighting for Ghost, then we can take Demon Souls off because I'm happy that it won Best Visuals because, you know, I guess I'm the only person who's played it.
He's making deals now.
Well, no, it's like,
he's like, I'll trade Ghost for Demon Souls.
Well, no, it's like I like Demon Souls, but I know I don't have as much of an argument for Demon Souls that I do for Ghost, and I will fight with every fiber of my being for Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, because I would put that in probably my top 5 of games I've ever played.
Here, here.
Demon Souls.
He's not even arguing against you.
I would say who did it better, the remake of Demon Souls or the remake of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1?
Oh, damn.
Demon Souls for sure.
Oh,
no.
Shots fired.
How about we just drop them both?
Oh, drop both the remakes.
So
That's
okay, listen.
Ryan's like, listen,
motherfucker.
Hey, Nexomon's gonna make it.
Look, I get that you're the host. You only get so many things, right?
Even Troy's take. You're the only person that wants it to stay.
Now, I understand the thought about that, but me personally, I don't believe that Cyberpunk deserves top 5.
Not
its current version.
Yeah.
Well, for now, let's drop Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Just for now.
Yep.
You died.
We already talked about that last time.
Yeah, we
right?
did. We talked extensively about Demon Souls, and I think we even
visually
talked about some of the stuff that it does in terms of the gameplay too. Snuck
We
in there to
watched
the-
gameplay as well.
It does do improvements. It does add stuff. It looks amazing, plays amazing. It's insane. And if you want anything to do with Souls, play it.
Yep.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a worth mentioning type of game.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
definitely.
Maybe.
Sam, did you play Demon Souls?
I've played. No.
Souls.
Okay, you didn't.
No, I've not played Demon Souls. I can't vouch for its gameplay in particular, but I can say from what I've seen and what I've heard that it does sound like an immense improvement. But I mean,
and playing any Souls game at 60 frames per second is,
I believe that,
an experience full game. I would argue it looks to be, maybe. Yes.
All right, so now we're down to Cyberpunk, Warzone, Nexomon, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I mean,
top 6.
Like,
I mean, like,
I like Tony Hawk a lot.
I agree,
and I am glad it made it as far on this list as it has.
There we go. We got it, guys.
I think.
That's it.
Stay it.
all right, just get rid of Cyberpunk.
Don't even bother calling me.
Do that. Like,
I would put.
Just do it.
Personally, I would take Cyberpunk and Nexomon over Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is my number 3.
Yes.
And I appreciate you guys giving me the time to make the argument for Tony Hawk. I definitely like it. I think everyone here should play it. People should play Tony Hawk.
Yes.
Even if you don't have like the reverence for those initial games.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
I have a grievance.
Hit me.
I think Ghost of Tsushima shouldn't have a scot-free victory without any opposition. I feel like Ghost of Tsushima should be at least put on trial because all these games have been put on trial, except for maybe Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk will be like I'm gonna have to fight for
because
that
like
game,
we're
but
down to our
it
top
don't matter.
5 now, basically.
Like we should talk them all. Like I guess when we get to top 5, we're gonna have to talk about them all.
Tony Hawk, right?
I mean, yeah. If we next time we're gonna have to talk about Cyberpunk, Nexomon, and Ghost. Those are the next 3.
Yeah.
And like I've given the goodness about Ghost, there's no way it would be put above Tony Hawk if he's willing to let it go. Yeah.
But
to be into the top.
I think we can get to a top 5, and let me nix Tony Hawk, and then let's go into Ghost. How about that?
Okay, if you're fine with letting go of Tony Hawk without seating Ghost of Tsushima in the bracket way up there, but like,
I mean, that's only one ahead of it. Like,
yeah, it's still 6. Like Tony Hawk is 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a top 5.
Yep.
And I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a remake, but it's a really, really, really good remake.
Yep. And I'm fine with us getting rid of both remakes. That makes, it works.
As a matter of principle.
Okay.
All right.
Let me move these
Slide them over.
Slide them on over to the top 5 here.
Oh,
in no particular order, I should specify.
Yep.
We're probably going to have a couple people like be like, you fucking kidding me? Warzone? What?
Dude, it's so good.
I know.
Warzone.
I agree.
That's your
really
argument
good.
back. Dude, it's so good. Just listen to what we argued for.
I agree. If
right,
I say
what's
it's good, you
place?
should-
We just ripped on Call of Duty for like half an hour, and then we're like, but Warzone's really good.
like we really
like a
like what
different
they did
game.
last year, so we're gonna talk about
It does.
more.
It is different. It is a totally different Call of Duty. It really is.
I played Cold War for so little, and I hate how it feels, but Warzone,
Just
constantly
regular.
playing.
None. Yep. All right, cool. We got a top 5. This is where we get nitty and gritty.
Colin,
you
you
might
wanna
want
go
to make a numbers underneath.
I'm going to do that as soon as I find which one of these is the numbers.
Hey, Colin.
Can't see
that one.
Hey, Colin.
Nope.
You should do it in your announcer voice.
Top 5 in no particular order. Cyberpunk 2077.
Do you know what the next one is?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ghost of Tsushima. Nexomon Extinction. And Call of Duty Warzone.
Forgot the colon.
Warzone.
Just call it Warzone. That's literally
Warzone.
Yeah, it's just called Warzone. It doesn't even, Modern Warfare isn't even there anymore. It just says Warzone.
Wasn't that
no,
an
I don't
old
play Modern
PlayStation
Warfare
game that was called Warzone? Wasn't that an older one?
I mean, it could be.
Yeah. Could
Warzone's a pretty simple name.
It is. It is.
All right.
Okay, let's hear about Ghosts.
That's the only one we haven't talked about
we've
yet, right?
talked about all these at varying times.
That's what I'm saying. It made it into the top 5
All right,
without
Ghosts.
any
When
contention.
did we heavily talk about Cyberpunk?
We talked about
We talked about it last week as for story. Last episode.
Which
for
story is most of it, to be honest. That's
Yeah.
most of what
Yeah.
we're really going to need to talk about there.
Yeah.
Because that's most of the game other than the gameplay in general.
Continue. All right. So I got notes because I don't want to overly repeat things. But so funny enough, these were both announced near the same time, which was Ghost of Tsushima and then Sekiro. And I'm like, well, I only want to play one ninja game, and then it got delayed, so it was good. I've loved the developers Sucker Punch forever, and so this is a foray into something new.
And Sucker Punch did Infamous?
Infamous, yes.
Don't forget about Sly Cooper. Okay.
Oh, that is true,
yes,
yeah.
dear
We're talking
me.
about stealth games.
Sorry about
Cooper's
that.
Good. Sly Cooper's good. And the thing that heavily draws me into this one is the insane art direction of this game, which is ridiculous. Like the attention to detail when it comes to the actual designs of the armor, the authenticity of how it is done, how it works, the character designs, the weapon designs, and how the world actually works. Like, one of the things that is crazy is this is a somewhat standard open world game, kind of in the veins of what Assassin's Creed might be, yet it is done, everything is done perfectly. They get, okay, what goes into an open world game and how can we make it perfect?
Okay.
So the coolest thing that this game does is how it actually gets you around. There's not a mini map, and the way you get around is you will open a map, and be like, oh, I want to go here. Let's check out this place. And then the wind guides you. The world will move and the wind will come in and blow the direction of where you want to go. So as you're running and just seeing birds flying in the direction, leaves flying in the direction, the grass, the trees, everything just telling you where to go. So the entire world is just engrossing. And then you're running and going, oh, hey, I'm going to go to this mission. And then there's a fox that's just sitting there and is like, hey, come here. It's like, oh, follow the fox. And then the fox will take you to a statue or take you to weapons.
You see, Ryan wouldn't like this game because he's more of a running into the against the wind kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like, let me go over here.
Let me go poke at this piece of the bar for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, is there anything I can jump on for a little while?
I mean, yeah, you can jump on stuff. You can jump on. There's climbing. But like just... I would run around to just see what animal would come up and then take me a place. Like there are these birds that'll fly around and you can follow them to areas where it'll be like, oh, here's a place where you can make a haiku.
So you're like Snow White.
No.
No?
No.
You don't sing
You're
to
a samurai.
Oh. Because like the birds are like leading you and you're like, ha ha.
Yeah, you don't sing.
It's now a Disney musical.
Beautiful.
You don't sing. You do make haikus, but you don't sing. Which,
okay.
Like, does he have like a Sekiro almost like voice where it's like,
yeah, his voice is awesome. Not like, whoa, but he has like
Shinobi.
Kind of ish, but better.
Making haikus in that deep voice.
He's got a kind of deep voice, but that was one thing that was a lot of fun with the haikus is it's a moment to stop because he sits and then you just look at different places of the world and it gives you some options of what you think you see and you pick that word and then you pick the other word and then you pick it and it goes through the haiku phase and then he makes it and you get a headband with the haiku that you made.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like that.
Wow.
Then
game of the year.
Yeah.
What does the headband do? Why do I want a headband?
It says poetry. Do you not get it?
Poetry that you made.
No. I don't get poetry in general and I don't want it on a headband.
Does it make you super
No.
Oh.
The headband is like a cool design and changes how you look. And then when you actually go into the description of the headband, it has your haiku that you made. So it just has different designs on it if you want that.
So this is like another way for you to interact with the world.
Yes.
Okay.
And probably my favorite thing when it comes to the game is following the birds. You can go to a thing called the Shrine of Honor, which is places where you can find other swords.
Well, that was going to be like the bonfire.
So you walk and then you just see this massive battleground where there's a bunch of people dead and you go up to this pillar, this cool music plays and you get a new sword. So you can change the look and the design of your sword. And the cool thing too is in those moments, if you find samurai, you can go up to him and he will bow to them and say like, I'm sorry that you died or some other thing of like, I will avenge you. And I'm like, that's so cool to just interact.
All right.
Then the other thing that's crazy with the world is it has the most insane use of contrast in a game where I'm starting to remember where I'm going in the island due to the color of that area. So like, let's say I'm fighting these enemies in this area and it's the yellow trees. So everything is super yellow and like beautifully contrasted. Everything flying around me is yellow. And then I move to a different area. No, this is a more green forest. So things are green. What's flying around me is more green. And I'm like, I know this area. This person's over here because I've been in this area before. And you go up to like the snow area, which looks insane, and then it's much more white. So the way they deal with colors is very exaggerated, but it looks so pretty.
Very pretty color palette.
Yeah. The overworld is insanely beautiful, and it's just a small island, so it's really meticulously crafted. Okay. So it's not just, oh, here's a big open world, and this looks the same, that looks the same. This is just like, it's so compactly just designed in the way the world is. So it's so fun to play in.
So there's not necessarily segments where you're like, I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all, so it's easy to even be like, oh, I know this area because I've been through it and it does not look like that area. So I'm on the right side of the map and I know where this hot spring is. So if I go down here, there's that village where I needed to do the mission. And I didn't even have to look at the map because I know what that design of that area is because that design is in that specific forest.
Well, this sounds like, just based on what you've said, it sounds like what people have been asking for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is like, stop giving me open worlds that take me 3 hours to get across. Stop randomly generating environments for me to get through this where it looks just like that last environment. Like,
Stop making it cheap and making it bulk.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like Far Cry does that.
Yeah.
If you went from
Skyrim did that a little bit.
Yeah, Skyrim for sure.
Hang on.
Get back.
Hang on. What you were talking about, like what you know locale wise, I could I could look at a rock, play GeoGuessr, just be like, I see that boulder, I know exactly where I'm at.
Oh my goodness.
All the boulders are the same, but that boulder.
I believe you.
Like
I'm not saying you're wrong. I believe you.
In terms of Skyrim, like it's not that everything is designed the same and it's just copy and paste, but it all looks the same.
That is true. But you're
it's
saying
different, but it all looks the same. Where Ghost, nothing looks the same. You get to this area of mountains and how they're designed, and you're like, up there's a shrine, and it's so different. You have like these dip downs, like kind of Lord of the Rings locales, where it's these widespread shots of just cool areas.
Yeah.
And,
you lost me. You said Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, that's a good argument.
I'm talking about visual wise. Pretty
crazy that Lord of the
Wait,
Rings,
who
a lot
did
of
that?
places
Who's
look
yawning? You're not allowed to do that on the podcast. I get yelled at for that.
But like visually, in terms of how
Killer KO.
like it would have the best visuals in terms of actual gameplay because it tells you where to go, and they worked so hard to make it recognizable pretty because their goal was to have you not follow an arrow. You do make a mark and you go where you're going on the map, but you follow the world to get there. And even if it did take me 3 hours to get from the bottom of the top of the map, which maybe from bottom to top, which is, I would enjoy it because as you're running, you get to see the wind. You can see other people doing stuff. I've seen like birds fighting each other. There were animals chasing each other. There's also just people doing things. So
he also like when he's riding in the grass, he like dips down his hand into the grass. That was my favorite. And it's pretty cool.
He'll run and then just like grab some of it. Yes, like Gladiator. Once I saw that, I'm like, oh, because he's not just doing this the whole time. Like he'll say stuff to his horse and interact with the world. Like as you're riding, he'll like dodge stuff or like sometimes push things out of the way. But yeah, my favorite thing was him reaching into like the flowers to grab them as you're riding through. It just was a cool thing to see.
So it sounds like you played this as well, Austin. Did you beat it?
No, I didn't. No.
I'm very close.
Why not? You're our I beat it guy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's your job.
What?
Austin, there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do, yeah.
I beat it.
I was exploring the bottom.
He's assassin beater. That makes sense.
Yep. I was working my way up on the map, going from top to bottom. I made it about halfway before I started fighting the Ronin guys, which are hard as shit.
Yeah, they're hard.
And I was like, I got other games to play.
And so are you concurring with most of the stuff he's saying then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, other than like, I know, like I've been to this area, I know what that is. I still don't, I don't know if I'm not paying more attention enough to details in the area, but I mean, I did kind of see that where certain parts of the map had that certain stuff. Like one part of the map is all like foggy and foresty and stuff like that. And then, you know, like others like, or more orange and stuff like that. But I want to be able to see like, oh, I know where that spring is. I'm going to be able to go there. That's the only thing I didn't really get.
And that was a bit of not necessarily an over exaggeration, but like you can use the map to get places. It just was cool. Like after doing a couple missions, I'm like, I know this area because it's not the same and it's very meticulously crafted, which sometimes overworlds are really flat. Like you have cool elevations, but it's like, here's this stretch, then that's lifted. There's this stretch and then that's lifted. Then like really cool options when it comes to the gameplay.
Okay.
The point of the game is going into playing one of two styles, which the game more pushes you and the story more pushes you going into Ghost, and you usually want to play as it because it's a lot better for assassinations and stuff. But there is playing as Samurai or Ghost, which is hack and slash, like approaching from the front. Honorable, or playing as more of an assassin. And obviously you can do them mixed. It's not like super restrictive. But for example, like you go to a base to like get in, not necessarily capture, because they just have like zones where enemies are. And like, let's say as Ghost, I want to kill the captain first. You could hide, sneak in, and then examine the captain, which you get points for doing, then kill him, take him down, stealth through, and boom, you've won. Or if you're Samurai, you could go up to the front and he will say, hey, come fight me. And then you get into a standoff. which a bunch of guys will come up and be like, okay, and then you have that like
those
all the
old
music.
samurai movies, you
Yeah.
know, like they're about to duel and stuff, and they're like they have that music,
and then the
playing.
guy will run up, and then you go and cut through like 3 of them.
Yeah,
And there's
and
a
then
burning
you're
Z on the ground.
pretty close.
Antonio Banderas is there.
But you do that thing, and then
It
the
is
people
cool.
come out, so you get advantages even if you are doing it as a samurai. Which then the gameplay itself is actually really fun. I don't want to put it as standard hack and slash because you have a sword, you fight with the hack and slash moves, you gain different techniques, you get different powers doing missions, and like how you get those techniques is from hearing about old legends of other samurais, and then you go through a story. Like it's a side mission as there's just a dude who goes around and is telling stories. And then you hear about these stories and other people are hunting for this power. And you go, okay, so you go through the story and then you learn their legendary techniques because as the main character, Jin Sakai, he's like pretty much the best of the best. So like you're going
He's John
after
Wick.
this, kind of. So like in one of them, you're going after this dude who is serial killing a bunch of people because he wants this specific technique, but he doesn't learn it because, you know, he's a dick. You learn it through like listening to nature and actually following, like there's a storm going on and he like examines with the lightning and then learns the technique and you kill the dude and he gets struck with a lightning bolt, which is really cool.
Whoa.
And that's a side mission.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yep.
This is a pretty good argument.
Yeah.
With each enemy, you have different stances for
Yeah.
them too.
That's yes.
Yeah.
That the whole combat system
Yep.
has different stances.
What does that mean?
So, like, say I don't know what the stances are called.
Because there's like stone, water,
Okay,
wind,
yeah.
rock. Like there's simple notes, but it's he'll stand with like a sword like this,
Yeah.
like that, different stances, and you fight differently. So it's like, okay, let's say I have a dude with a sword. So okay, you're gonna use stone.
Yep.
Because you can block, parry, and have specific techniques to take them down. Oh, I got a spear dude. I'm gonna switch to wind stance because then when he hits me with a spear, I can do this parry, spin around, boom, and then he's dead.
And it's pretty seamless too.
Yeah, like
it's really easy to switch to different stances right in the midst of battle, right in the midst of fighting too.
I like that.
And
a lot.
it is very.
I kind of like that a lot.
This
Yeah.
game is right up Sam's
Oh,
alley.
gosh.
I kind
yes,
of
it
like
would
that.
be.
I'm kind
Especially-
of crushing on this game now.
especially because you can choose to go sub.
And
And they actually have a really good actor for the main character.
Yeah.
Sorry,
which I
I'm
told
gonna
you
have to dump
before.
my girlfriend and play this game.
I forgot about that. That would Sam would definitely love that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. But
Oh,
let's be honest,
man.
the reason why this is probably one of the best games of the year is because it put Last of Us 2 in its place.
Yeah, it did.
There's another thing I was talking about going samurai or ninja style. If you go ninja style, there'd be more storms going on in the world.
What?
Yeah, so there would be more stormy, it'd be more dark, there'd be more rain, the water in the
yes,
distance will be
dynamic.
waving. But if you go honorably, I mean, it's gonna be more sunny. There will be a couple storms here and there, but still, it's just like it. If you go ninja style, it's game looks even.
The enemies
a lot
will also
better.
change how they fight. Like if you're consistent in your technique,
no. Ryan's over here. He's kind of getting scared.
Like
Nexomon's
I
kind of.
have notes and notes of
Yeah.
Nexomon, so I'm okay. Keep
No,
going.
he's
I like Nexomon. Like put next one be good, but like this is another thing. If you use the same techniques, the enemies will prep for that.
Yep.
So like if you keep doing specific sword techniques, they'll get different armor to block that. Let's say you go to a place and take everyone out with archers. They're going to tell other people that when you try to take down their next thing, everyone's going to be wearing helmets. So they will
shoot 'em in the
learn
chest
what
then.
you do.
Like,
Well, even that, they still have armor, but like headshots take them out easier, and you don't have 30,000 arrows.
I do.
Wow.
I mean, again, that's not real.
All right, guys.
Neither is this game. Sorry.
Now,
I think we have a few options here.
now there is another thing that is
And another thing.
well. Again, we're going gameplay's
Keep
great,
going,
but
keep going.
the way that you customize how your character looks is insanely well done. The only thing that actually matters for
Your trucks, your wheels.
You can have dreads,
No.
you guys. Pink dreads.
no.
Tony Hawk.
Tony, bring it back. Putting it back on
The only thing that actually matters for your entire armor class is your main chest piece. Because you have helmet, and then I think there's a couple other things you can customize, but
Yeah.
those don't actually matter. They just so you can look differently. as you upgrade your armor, one of the coolest things to me that you can do is you can go back to the older ways that it looked before, but you still have the upgrades. So let's say you upgrade a crazy one and you're like, well, I don't like how there's all this noise and tassels and stuff, so I'm going to bring it back down to the way it looked first. Oh, I really like how that looks. You still have all of your buffs. And then each...
Oh, you lost me. That's game breaking. That's fiction breaking.
Like, no. Why would you... No.
He's got a point. You can't play... you can play fashion.
All right.
You can't play...
Let me just throw some Cyberpunk in there right now. Because when I started this game, my best armor was a mini skirt.
Nice.
And like a ripped up tank top.
No,
like,
thank you.
You're looking good.
I was like, good. I was like, look.
It's a hooking simulator.
I am, and I'm a dude.
Oh my
so like,
gosh.
I was like, well, I gotta go with what's gonna give me the best armor rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
And I guess I just play with it and, you know, make it part of my character. Yeah. I started off wearing
as
Yeah, I started playing as, you know, fighting this crime in a miniskirt. But now look at me. I got a trench coat. I mean, I got some armor.
Flash people with the trench coat.
Oh,
I got some armor now. I got a full set of pants and shoes.
Oh boy,
and
shoes.
That's probably why they didn't. That's why it's got a good armor rating. They just felt bad. They don't want to hit a guy without shoes.
I'm okay with that. It just
random homeless guy.
All right, since most of us have played Warzone and loved Warzone, how do you think it holds up to the rest of these games? Who thinks Warzone is better than those games?
Warzone's number 4.
I think Warzone's number 2 at least.
What?
Yeah.
Not number 2.
I think it's number 3.
I'd put Warzone as number 4 because Cyberpunk's number 5.
Cyberpunk's not even a finished game.
Okay. I don't know.
That's unfair.
If you're playing,
no,
it's not unfair.
No, it is. That is unfair.
No, it's
not
not.
a fucking game
If
to
you're
play.
playing
You're
from PS4,
discounting it completely.
PS4 and Xbox One.
That is a problem. I'm gonna. That's
a
the fucking
huge problem. When it's
but it's not for me.
unfucking
This is
playable.
our game of the year. I'm not playing it on PS4 and I'm not playing it on Xbox One.
True that.
I understand there are people who are in that boat, and I'm sorry, but I ain't one of them.
I agree.
That still is arguments we can make against it.
Listen, I stayed up all night, camped at a mire, and I got my Xbox Series X, and I haven't had but a few minor, like,
I've had visual glitches.
Yeah, visual
That's it.
things that have nothing to do with the game, and I haven't, like, how often do I usually play Call of Duty, Colin, until Cyberpunk came out? Every night that I turned on my Xbox, it was Call of Duty. My wife has asked me, if I delete this game from your hard drive, will your save game go away? I was like, nope.
For Cyberpunk.
I said, don't even try it. Yeah, for Cyberpunk. She wants me to stop playing. Like, there's times where we're like sitting out in the living room, hanging out with the kids. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bedroom and play Cyberpunk. She's like, really?
Fuck being a father.
Right
I'm
now?
out of here.
Like, and then I go in there and I'm just like cruising around. Like I'm going from mission to mission. And the way this game, I've never had another game like Grand Theft Auto does stuff kind of like it, but nothing like this. I'm driving from, like, I got to go meet Pan Am in the desert. That's a long ways to drive. Yeah. Why would you fast travel for one, unless you can't play the game any other way? I'm driving there on my motorcycle, and then there's a flash, like a blip on the map. You should go check that out. And every time I do, it's something cool.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten bored of this game yet.
Yeah.
I got bored of Valhalla after 4 or 5 hours because I was like, I want to go back to Cyberpunk.
Yeah, because Cyberpunk is a lot more. It's all.
Yes.
It's kind of like how Phil was saying about Ghost of Tsushima. It's more compact.
Yeah.
There's more stuff to do all around you.
Yeah, there isn't, like, you can't go 10 foot.
It works.
I haven't had a problem.
I'm not talking about glitches. I'm talking about the actual missions not fucking working.
Well, I haven't had that.
I'm not playing the game until they fucking fix it and bring out the next gen versions. It's a broken piece of shit, and I would fucking hate this game if I had to buy it. I got it for free, so that's the only reason I'm not mad. They lied so much about this game.
I would argue that your examples were not very like convincing.
In what? In what?
We talked about
so
Cyberpunk
you were
last week.
unsatisfied with the mission's like resolution. So like it seemed
because they don't work.
It's just a bad resolution, basically.
No, the dude just running away and then having nothing afterwards, nothing at all.
That's the end of the mission.
Good. No, that's broken. Or the fact that like it's supposed to work to where I can not kill people and get a different ending to the mission, but it doesn't work because it's broken. It actually is broken in the game.
I don't know.
I didn't run into that issue that you had.
We did get contrasting. We did get contrasting examples where that someone was actually able to complete that mission.
Right.
Yeah.
Now there are different opportunities, ways to go out that mission, but I wouldn't say that's game breaking. I would.
What about the cops?
What about the cops?
The fact that they just pop in out of nowhere?
Cops, let's take
did see that.
That's a horrible system. I've had that happen. That was so dumb that they just pop in out of nowhere. And then again, they said they were going to have a proper system. No, it's broken. It is broken. They lied about the cop system. That is broken.
I do not want to talk about any of the stuff that surrounds this game that you fucking hate. That has nothing to do with this game in itself. All the stuff that they promised and you feel like they under-delivered on, I want to talk about...
That's exactly what we're talking about,
But that's what I'm saying. I thought we were getting to that point and I don't want to.
Oh, but then we could just read a review about how the game's supposed to be.
Right. I don't want to talk about that.
No,
that's
I don't.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So as long as we're in concurrence, that I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
I have played so much of this game, and these kind of games I fall off of. I always have. I like The Witcher. Everybody loves The Witcher. I can't play The Witcher.
Yeah.
Because it's like, so you got to go from here to here, and it tells you that exact point, but then there's these things in between, and it doesn't say, hey, don't forget to go back. Mm-hmm. And this, I haven't gotten lost. I know, and it might be a me thing, but I love this game. Everything about this game is what I wanted it to be, or more. Sure, it's a huge game. It's a huge undertaking. It's the first part of a new generation. I'm driving down the road and randomly there's a dude T-posting. Like I had 4 of them last night, literally standing on the side of the road T-posting, doing nothing else, just standing there.
Well, I wouldn't call the game part of the new generation because we don't even have the next gen version.
But it plays better on the next gen. Right. That's what it is.
Basically a next gen game. They pretty much came out.
Yeah, they said this is beginning to be a next gen thing, and we're sorry, but that's we want you to have this game in your hands.
This is play at your own risk.
Yes.
If you want to play with a PS4 or PS or an Xbox One, so be it. But
I played it.
Play it at your own risk.
There was a word that could have solved this entire problem when they launched this game.
And it's sorry.
Early access.
Yeah.
True.
There was one fucking term that they could have put out there was early access, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And that was wrong of them, and they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But I think there is so much to Cyberpunk. Like the stuff that I talked about last week in the story thing, where I ran into that mission where the guy blew up his own dick with an implant.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good when you're, and I was just playing that mission earlier today, when you're driving him to the Ripper dock, he is freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that impedes you getting to the Ripper dock as you're there. And so you run into a roadblock and he's like, oh God, it's a fucking roadblock. Come on, man, get me there. And your character's like, will you just calm the fuck down? And he's like, I think his wording was, it feels like my dick's in a pencil sharpener. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll hurry. Like,
I ran into the mission for Delamain, the car, like the assassin car taxi.
Yeah, the AI
and
car.
You have to go and collect all of the rogue AIs that have like disappeared. He's like, I'm running out of cars. I need you to go collect all these. And you're like, you don't have to play them all in an order. Like you can find, like, he will like pop in and be like, hey, you're close to one. But I did the first one. I was like, this is cool. And then I got to, I think it's the 6th one I did. There is homage paid to Portal.
Okay.
GLaDOS is in this game.
No way.
GLaDOS is in this game.
That's awesome.
Then you go to another one, and this car is a psychopath. And then when you finish the mission, you go back and you talk to the AI, and he's like, so was this like all of your emotions that you didn't know how to control because your AI?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, thank you. He didn't even all you got throughout this whole mission is money.
Okay.
He didn't
there's a lot of money you get
from
that.
There was no like, oh, I got a cool gun, or you just got money, and I was like, but this is fun.
Yeah.
Like this.
So you're saying you weren't playing it for the rewards is what you're trying to get at.
Yeah,
okay.
like was it kind of a fetch quest?
Sure.
Yeah. But it was a fun quest. Like the whole time I didn't know what the next car was gonna do.
Right.
The whole way through that mission, my wife's like, aren't you done with these stupid cars? These cars are like, why are they alive? Well, they're not. They're AI. They're just confused. I don't know.
So I like to go back to Saints Row real quick. Like there are fetch missions in Saints Row where you have to get certain cars.
Yeah.
And like I didn't play any of those. I didn't do any of those in the new game because I'm like, I've done this before. Like, this is boring. There's no story stuff tied to it.
You have
it
to
doesn't
race
give
right
you
here.
a reason to do that.
Yeah.
So, and even when I was playing Cyberpunk, like I have that quest unlocked.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really want to go fetch those cars. Like I thought they were just fetch quests.
Yeah.
So to hear you saying how cool and like story stuff tied to those.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
It has nothing to do with the rest of the story,
Right.
but it's a good story in itself.
That would be a side mission.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about this, unlike Assassin's Creed, is it puts all of the missions in like an order. So there's story missions, there's side quests, there's gigs, and then I forget what the fourth one is. And like in your journal where you pick which one you want to track.
The cars. The cars that are for sale.
The cars that are for sale.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so expensive.
They are expensive.
They're very expensive.
But you just steal cars all the time. Actually, I steal motorcycles, but that's besides the point.
So I think you've probably played more of this game than anybody, Austin. I was kind of surprised at like the mission variety. And I think the heist mission that you go on with Jackie that we talked about in the story.
First mission.
Yeah, like
the first main mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of the coolest missions I've done since Oblivion.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool. You sneak in there and you've got to hide behind the little TV screen looking thing.
Yeah.
And like shit goes down while you and Jackie are just holed up in this place. And you're obviously not supposed to see that, you know, because you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the Oblivion mission where you've got to sneak into the temple with all the blind guys. Another sneaking mission. And like that mission is so cool. And I just loved playing through that. I liked a lot about the character interactions with Jackie. And to your point, Troy, you were talking about like exploring the open world.
Yeah.
I had a huge amount of fun exploring the open world. Just running into different quests and just what you were saying about Ghost of Tsushima, Phil, like how you were running into things as you were getting there, like seeing a fox and going off in this direction. Like that's the experience that I had in Cyberpunk.
Same.
To me, there is so much to do and see in Cyberpunk. It does not feel like a half-finished game. I'm sorry, and it kind of bums me out that like you had that experience. That sucks because that
pretty
isn't
much
the
been my
experience.
experience is just
Yeah,
not
that
working
sucks,
that well.
man.
Yeah.
And
That's shitty.
That's why I'm waiting, and I'll be more. I have a feeling that when it comes time to next game of the year, the 2021 PS5 and
version
Xbox
of
One version, the
Cyberpunk,
actual
right,
next gen releases that would then be a 2021 game because they are the actual next gen versions. I would probably put it on this list like No Man's Sky. I got that fucking piece of shit game when it first came out,
Dude,
and I've played it now. It's so much fun now.
Yeah.
So I would want that to be in an instance for Cyberpunk because to me, the things that work is what's scripted. And like I come across stuff, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then it's just like these little script moments and it's not really randomized. If anything's randomized or organic moments, nothing's actually organic because like you can follow people around. Like I went and I'm like, where is everybody? Oh, I follow the cops. They pop up, they go inside. He disappeared in the building and then, oh, my thing's gone. And then it's like, oh, I killed all those people. I came in, the cops look, and then he just disappears. Everybody's back inside that building, and I'm like, what just
you feel disillusioned.
I hate Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say why.
Didn't run into anything that was fiction breaking like you're describing. Like
Wait. I got something.
Okay. You sent that video of the guy talking about how unimmersive, I guess, Cyberpunk is. I didn't have that experience at all.
That's been a lot of my experience.
That is not the game I played, I guess, is kind of what I'm trying to get at.
I haven't, the whole, when I'm not playing Cyberpunk, I'm thinking about playing Cyberpunk. Like, that game has done something, it's like right here. It's right here in my brain, and no matter what, I was playing Call of Duty with you, and I'm like, and when I got done, do you know what I did?
Cyberpunk.
I played Cyberpunk.
I was wondering what those stitches were on the side of your head.
Okay. That's why I wear a hat.
The fiction breaking in Cyberpunk is when you drive over a sidewalk, and the pedestrians, instead of going around, they just turn around and go the opposite direction.
There you go.
And Grand Theft Auto, when you pull your cart up on a sidewalk, there's people walking there, and they'll go around your car in Grand Theft Auto. They'll literally walk around your car and get to the other side. But if something is blocking pedestrians' way in Cyberpunk, they'll just turn around.
Well, I mean, I would too.
They're just like, all right, fuck, I'm not dealing with that. Nope, I'm out.
Your thing?
I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
I mean,
I wouldn't do that in real life. Like, McDonald's is right fucking there. I'm gonna go and roadblock. Like,
crazy
hell no, I'm
man
gonna go around.
Drives up on the sidewalk, and
He's parked. No, I'm not inside his car anymore. I'm going around. I'm not worried about it.
Maybe a little weak.
Hey,
I mean, the pedestrian AI is kind of garbage. It's
not number one
for
me.
I like some instances of, again, if you don't want me to complain, then I'm going to have nothing to say, but I have issues with the game. I wanted it to be more. And again, I am 100% serious. I would probably hate this game if I paid for it. Just simply because of I know you don't want to talk about what was promised, but there was a lot of cool things, even trailers that came out near the end of the next year. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just saying why I have issues with the fact that there was so many promises that were promises, and we should hold people accountable to that. Because there's things in the game I want to do that I can't that they said I could.
Not the forum for holding them accountable. This is the forum for trying to decide, put these games in a top 5 order.
And then that's a complaint of mine, that there's things I can't do that I want to. Is that not, I'm not saying, oh, I got to make a forum, but I can be upset in a game that I was excited for that doesn't have things in there that they said would be in there, and they didn't say they removed them. The game just came out without them.
But I mean, to that point, I get that it's a way smaller scale, but they changed that puddle in Spider-Man. I am pissed.
They changed
that puddle.
His face.
Yeah.
His face is completely different.
What are some of these promises then?
Those are things that happens in game develop, especially in crunch, where they're no, you get no more time. This game has to go out.
Which I blame on the fans that send them death threats and their shareholders.
Okay.
Colin asked about the broken promises.
Okay. Wall running. Dynamic pedestrian AI where they would have daily schedules that you could follow and see, which was done in Red Dead Redemption 2. That does not exist in Cyberpunk. There was going to be car customization. There was going to... I
would like car customization.
Yeah, they took that out.
Thing.
And then they're talking about the same thing with the cops. There was going to be a dynamic cop system where they were going to have corrupt cops you could pay off. There was going to be you could find where they go, and they would have an organic system to find you, and chase you would be cool.
Like
you
a nemesis cop system.
Yes. And they don't. They just pop in. Kind of, but they just pop in. You can't do anything with them.
Yeah, I mean, comparing it to Red Dead is different because that is a smaller scale to Cyberpunk.
I mean, it's a huge game. So you still have NPCs that have an entire daily cycle.
20 of them compared to the millions of people that live in
Cyberpunk city.
They have a huge city that's compact.
He did bring up real grievances though. I mean, I don't know why we're not holding the game. I mean, can you explain to me why we wouldn't hold a game to what it says it's going to deliver and it doesn't deliver?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So my problem with doing that kind of thing is I specifically avoided reading or watching or listening to anything what they were promising the game would be. I watched the initial trailer at E3 2017 and I was like, well, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
So whenever it comes out, that motherfucker's mine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a difference for you, but that's still a grievance on me because it was a trailer that was like a couple months before the game came out where they're showing things working. Like they'd even talked about in an example of like you could be driving around and then people would come up and do like the shoot-bys, which that isn't a feature that's in the game. It only happens if it's scripted in a mission.
But for me, there's enough things that work in, there's way more things that work in Cyberpunk than that don't, for sure. But I don't think it deserves to be fifth.
I mean, if you buy something, pay money for something that's being advertised as such, and you don't get what you're paying for. I mean, maybe you're getting a lot of what you're paying for, but if they forget my fries in my 20-order McDonald's thing, I'm going back in.
And
like, I'm getting my fries.
The difference I can say here is the fact that they're saying they're going to bring this stuff to it. They're like, we're sorry we cut it. It's going to come back in with patches and fixes and updates. Like, so it was
every other game that's comes out nowadays. Like, I mean,
and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I don't want to just look past and go, oh, it's fine because it's Cyberpunk.
No, I'm
I
not
don't
even
think it's getting a pass at all. Every destroyed by
every
people,
game,
and I think this is a game worth playing.
Yeah,
like I enjoyed playing it. Like I really do. I'm just mad at the fact that I actually can't play it how I want to, how they said I could. And like again, I will go back to that side mission. I was having fun, and then things started breaking and pulling me out of it because I'm like, okay, this mission says I can do something better if I do this, and it didn't work because it's broken.
So you would rather have them work on it more.
I mean, yeah, it should have been delayed.
And then possibly go bankrupt or lose all of its server, and then the game never ever comes out.
That's fair. That's fair. But I mean,
I mean, again, they're doing definitely worse with lawsuits and huge losses right now with what was happening.
They already made their money.
They already made their they already made their money back.
13 million copies.
Yeah. More than what was it, like Fallout 76?
I mean, don't compare it to Fallout. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean,
let's not go there.
But I'll still say their management. I mean, it's been a comment by them that their management has been terrible for years.
Yeah,
but I will blame people that sent them death threats and didn't let the game be delayed. Like it should have been delayed, and they shouldn't have made so much promises to put it on the last gen consoles because it's a joke. And I don't think they're ever going to get it up to being really good and runnable. And I also want to just like,
I agree.
Some of the things are frustrating that have been standards for years, like the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. They have been like Grand Theft Auto 5 does some things better when it comes to the general world working than Cyberpunk has done, and GTA is a 360 game.
I hate playing Grand Theft Auto.
5?
Like it's not a good game to me. I hate playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
But I'm not talking about like just the shooting and stuff. I'm talking about like how the world works.
Well, he's talking about things that are possible. Things that are possible that Grand Theft Auto did. I mean, they did not pick up the lessons that they.
But this isn't Grand Theft Auto.
That's not what we're saying. I mean, so like with me, my thing is sure Grand Theft Auto does this thing better. But Cyberpunk has held my attention and made me want to know this story. When Grand Theft Auto,
the world,
Grand Theft Auto.
That's what I was doing.
I skipped the story.
Okay,
There's more in Cyberpunk.
What he's talking about. So he's talking about the elements that are literally the same that would be in Grand Theft Auto to Cyberpunk. So he's talking about this AI system of pedestrians walking the streets, same as in Cyberpunk. He's talking about the police system, and he's talking about these different side quests that are all like you can draw a very easy contrast between these.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're open world exploration city games.
Yeah, he's
so
talking
you're
about,
going to have cops, you're going to have pedestrians.
He's talking about these things that are very possible and things that they promised and things that weren't delivered when they probably could have done them. And I think like that shortcoming shouldn't be overlooked.
Grand Theft Auto 5 when it first came out was pretty much train wreck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, in Grand Theft Auto, one of the most popular games today.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Updates.
And then in Grand Theft Auto, you can only go into like 4 different buildings, you know, like a strip club or one of the banks.
That's true. There's a lot of stuff you can't do.
In Cyberpunk, you can, there's so much more to it.
And it's so much RPG elements too that aren't in Grand Theft Auto. Like in Grand Theft Auto, you are who you are.
Yeah. There's no change in that. And I mean, there's not that much to do in there too. Even the pedestrians, there's not a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And in Cyberpunk, when I'm playing my Xbox Series X, the streets are littered with people.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
They all say something different. Like to me, that's enough.
Yeah, they all say something.
I can
to me, that's not enough.
Sitting down, eating, or doing whatever.
There's a guy near your base or near your apartment, I guess, who you can stand there and watch him preach the end times.
Yeah.
And like as you
progress.
watch him further, he says different shit. And like, that's you interacting with the world in an inorganic way. Like,
but to me, that part wouldn't be organic. They would specifically script him to change at certain specific events, and then he's put in that one spot for you to see.
What the fuck do you think AI is? It's all algorithms.
Yes, but that is not an organic thing. I'm talking about like organic would be like you're again.
No,
like,
they aren't directing me to that mission. If I or whatever, they're not directing me to him. I notice him as I'm running by to get my new implants, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck did that guy just say?
That's organic.
That's an organic experience.
And
they're not
can
leading
see
me there.
Part of that. But it's still an insanely scripted NPC versus like just to do that.
Yeah,
it's a game. It's a game. It's scripted. There's no way around that. Like they're not until we have an AI that writes a game like Cyberpunk.
Okay, I'm not going that specific.
But that's what you're saying.
There's a difference between a random encounter or it just happening because it's so specific. Like, it's not like you're going to meet that guy randomly or like the AI has a certain thing, like they have their daily events. They only do very menial things or nothing.
But I'm not watching them do those things.
I want to play the game.
I'm interacting with them. I am finding enjoyable and new almost every time I
You're finding them organically, like you were saying.
Yes.
Like it's pretty much what he said, where he's not going to there and saying, "Oh, yep, I'm going to this person. I'm going to do this mission."
Organically, would you track down an NPC for like 12 hours a day and see what their daily routine is?
I mean, they said that you could and you can't.
To the same effect where it's all an illusion in the game. They do their best to break
for me because. The regular NPCs just are.
Well, I mean, if
like
you dissect a frog,
things.
it's like a frog. If you dissect it, it's dead because you've killed it. Like the illusion's there until you completely dissect it, and then it's dead, like a magic trick.
It is 100% accurate. Thank you, Sam. Absolutely,
that's a really good analogy.
That was
good.
Phenomenal. So I did not dissect the frog. The frog to me is still alive.
Like I want to know every working part of the frog. I don't want to go 3 layers beneath and rip out its heart and say, well, this doesn't work anymore.
Well, it's a problem for me when the frog moos instead of croaks.
I think that's funny.
Damn.
I think that's
There's your analogy.
Like to me, driving past, like
the
I'm
frog
going
didn't know for me.
Yeah,
That's my problem. The game broke itself to me. I didn't go looking to break the game, so I'm frustrated.
Okay.
But then
we understand
when the game broke that one time for you, you went digging for more and more things broken.
You sent us a video of a guy digging into it about all the shit that he thought was fucking wrong. And I didn't watch that fucking video.
There you go.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck what he thinks is wrong. I want to know what I think is wrong.
Okay, and this is what I think.
Okay.
That's okay. You can think that. You are welcome to do so. I don't think Cyberpunk's fit.
All right, guys. Is Cyberpunk top 4?
Yes.
Yes.
I disagree.
At least it's top 4, yeah.
Is Assassin's Creed better than Cyberpunk?
No.
No.
Well, okay, we got
Is Ghost of Tsushima better than Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Assassin's Creed is our official 5th place.
That's fine.
Any objection?
They made it.
We did it!
We got
Nexomon.
one.
Got a 5th!
If subtract it from the top.
Nexomon is number 1, I'm going to scream.
It's going to be number 1. Number 1 or number 2. Who other than Ryan thinks Nexomon should be number 1?
I would go number 2.
Yikes.
I would say 2.
Yikes.
It's really
it's
good.
a Pokemon clone.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's not.
Dude,
no,
that's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
I looked
really
up
good.
everything, and it is literally a Pokemon clone. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what your notes say. If it wasn't for Pokemon existing, this game would not have been made.
Why it's not a Pokemon clone.
That just says my name is Ryan, my name is Ryan, my name is Ryan.
Rachel made me write it. I didn't do the dishes.
I mean, I'll say for me personally, and I think also for Austin, Ghost is number 1.
Number 1.
Wow.
Shoot.
All
Beautiful.
right, guys. I think to be fair, we should put Warzone in 4.
Yes.
I mean, I'm down for that. It's good.
I'm down for 4.
Okay,
That makes sense.
That's fair to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then should we do Cyberpunk as number 3?
Tsushima, Extinction, and
right.
2077 is going to be our top arguments here.
I wouldn't say it's Warzone's not the fastest horse that didn't win the race, but it's a strong freaking horse.
It's a strong horse.
Like a Clyde.
I definitely could have had a potential of betting on that horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so Call of Duty Warzone goes 4th. Okay, I think that's fair.
Should Cyberpunk be number 3?
Who thinks it deserves top 2?
I don't think I can put it above Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh no, it'll be second for me, and then Ghost first.
Well, top 2 then.
I would be willing to put Nexomon higher up if Ghost is... Because again, Nexomon is great. Like, I love it, and I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I kind of hate the new games. I tried them. No. Nexomon, I've been playing it like every night for 10 hours because I can't sleep because insomnia. Yay. But it's really fun. It takes me back to when Pokemon was good, in my opinion. The old 2D stuff.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that if Nexomon was second and then Cyberpunk was third.
Oh
my god! To be fair, though,
doesn't it feel like reality's just slipping away?
To be fair, that fucking Ghost of Tsushima argument, the back and forth between these two.
I didn't even finish on the story.
Okay, that list. That's
Say it again. Say it again.
So number 3 would be Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Number 2 would be Nexomon, and then number 1 would be Ghost of Tsushima, which we can go into arguments between Ghost and Nexomon.
I think it should be Nexomon third. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't agree with that.
I would like that. I would definitely like that.
I would put Nexomon above Cyberpunk.
To me, Nexomon's number 1. I think you guys are.
What's your number 2?
Cyberpunk. I think Ghost is 3.
You argued that. You argued. Oh,
Ghost is not 3. I cannot. Ghost could not be under Cyberpunk because
I'm out.
No, I agree with you. It just blows my mind that Nexomon is like.
I agree.
It's really good.
It's like freaking Shrek
Going
in,
to
like, in
Nexomon.
Farquaad's kingdom. It's like doesn't even invited, but beats up everybody.
That's exactly what happened, though.
Yes.
Like literally, I was like, I have some Xbox money. What should I spend it on? Oh, it's a Pokemon clone.
Yep.
I like Pokemon. I didn't get a Pokemon game this year.
Pokemon clone. I don't care.
Look, it's
but it's not.
Donkey.
I told Troy to buy Ghost
Pokemon Tamers. Yeah,
and instead he sends me a screenshot of him having bought Nexomon.
Yep.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
He was
you bought
upset.
a goddamn Pokemon clone over the game I told you to buy so we can play it for Game of the Year?
Yeah, but the mobile ad on the YouTube ad was really convincing.
Dude. It was. After he watched it, he bought it.
So yeah, Troy sent me some videos like, dude, this actually looks kind of cool. I'm gonna give it a shot. So he sent me the video, and I was like, man, this is smooth. Like a lot of this about like, I love this art style.
I've heard
love
this
the way
all
works.
before.
I know. So let me get into the reasons why Nexomon is the same and different from Pokemon.
He has notes. Let him read his notes.
So obviously, 6 Nexomon on your team, basically Pokemon. Nexomon are 1 of 9 possible elements.
Pokemon.
There are advantages and disadvantages to those.
Yep.
Very Pokemon-like. But one way that it's different is the game doesn't tell you any type advantages. So you are forced to...
You can look it up.
There's no tutorial. I didn't look it up.
There's not really that much tutorial in a normal Pokemon game.
Fucking Pokemon holds your hand every fucking second.
I don't know.
Every second, Pokemon is like, come on, right over here.
Ryan.
Look at this.
Hey,
Look
I
at
didn't
this.
play a whole lot of Pokemon, and I sometimes will still have to look at what the fuck beats a ghost type. I can't think of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what does that.
No,
Well, it doesn't go that deep. Pokemon
but
never
it does
has.
explain it to you at the very beginning.
I don't think it's fair enough. It doesn't explain shit to me at the beginning. You get a water, a grass,
Pokemon
fire,
holds your
and then
hand
your
way
guy's
through.
like, oh, you must know moves, one type move, and that's the only time it ever mentioned it.
So I don't have them all memorized for Pokemon either, but I have
Because it
a
doesn't
lot
hold
of
your
them.
hand.
He has
Does
them.
not
He has
hold
them,
your hand.
but he
Oh,
has them
shit.
memorized for Nexomon.
But I pretty much have them memorized from Nexomon for trial and error.
How much have you played Pokemon? How many Pokemon games have you played?
I played red or blue, I guess. Silver.
Okay, try that same argument on Troy though.
Troy, how many Pokemon games have you played?
No.
All of them.
Like I've played a fuck ton of Pokemon. I've played very recent Pokemons. I played last year's Pokemon game a lot.
And yet you still haven't memorized all the Pokemons.
No, and I have felt, but I
Am I not hearing this
no, what
right?
I'm saying is I fell off of Pokemon.
Dude, you can't
Like,
argue with them. They've abandoned reason.
You guys have literally abandoned reason. You're literally saying Pokemon holds your hand the whole time in the move types, even though you already know all of Nexomon's move types.
Specifically in the move types, like that game.
Not move types. I mean,
type advantages.
The type advantages.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is Pokemon like feeds you through a story and is like already established.
Yeah.
These are the Pokemon tropes. This is exactly the same thing that you're going to do in every single game all the way through. Nexomon reinvents that, and I'll get to why.
I already saw it. It's fine.
So
I'm not shitting on Nexomon. I think it's a wonderful game. But
so
I think it's
you can battle trainers.
As
Trainers
your
give you
father.
battling trainers gives you XP. Obviously,
Pokemon.
There's status effects in each battle. Okay, yep, I played this fucking game before. This is all very much Pokemon. So here's how it's different.
You said that already.
There's a crafting.
There's triangles and circles.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They are triangles.
He has notes.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
That is
I'm
it.
sorry. I couldn't resist. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
All right, I'll wait patiently.
You don't have to.
So there are shards and cores. So shards you mine in the world, and they are your crafting element. So there are a style of shard for every element of the game, and you can use them to craft nexo traps of different elements to help you catch those Nexomon.
So you craft
those
your own
elements.
Pokeballs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You can do that in
I
Pokemon.
understand.
I'll say that.
Oof.
Pokemon.
Yikes.
Sorry.
So that's okay. But
Yeah.
the shards.
Sorry.
Next thing.
The shards are also used to craft cores, and the cores is where it really starts to differentiate between Pokemon. So in Pokemon, you can have your Pokemon hold items that do a very specific thing for that said Pokemon.
Yeah.
But in Nexomon, each Nexomon has 4 available slots for cores that it can hold.
Okay.
And those are, like, you start with kind of like the first tier core, and then you get up to the 3rd tier core, and your core might say, okay, it's a 5% advantage to your attack. It's a 5% boost to your defense.
Yep.
It's a 5% reduction in status ailments while you're playing, and those are all stackable. So if you want to have a Pokemon or a Nexomon with badass attack, you give him 4 level 3 attack cores, and that
attack is like
motherfucker will
doubled.
run some shit.
Pretty cool.
It is really cool.
So they made one thing different.
Let's see here. So I talked about the cores. So each in Nexomon, the stats are varied by rarity.
Yeah.
So you don't have any sort of rarity rating in Pokemon. You just know that you
don't know.
Yeah, it's all behind the scenes.
Yeah,
So you see less of said Pokemon, and okay, yeah, that must be rarer. But they put all that information in front of you in Nexomon.
So level 3.
Well, yeah, level 3, but you also have like the common,
rare,
you have
ultra
uncommon, rare, mega rare, ultra rare, and legendary.
Loot boxes.
No,
That's
it's
what
not
loot box. Yeah, it's like you want to open.
Oh, in the
you open a
tier.
rare one.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. No, I was gonna say there's no loot boxes. It's not like
It's a
that.
loot box Pokemon. You want a rare Pokemon?
So-
spend $10, you get a rare one. Rare Nexomon. Sorry.
So common Nexomon have stats that aren't as good as mega rare Nexomon, obviously. But
Was it basically legendaries?
in between
Mega
like
rares?
mega rare, ultra rare, and legendary, there's not a huge amount of difference. So in Pokemon, you'd have to grind for hours to hatch a fucking egg for a Pokemon that had the particular
the right
defense stat that you were going to get. In Nexomon, they've scrapped that whole fucking thing. You don't breed Nexomon,
And it's
none
not
of that
random.
happens, and it's not random. So like, if you had, Colin, if you had a level 30 Florizard and I had a level 30 Florizard, they would have the same stats because it's a mega rare Nexomon. And the differences would be what cores did you stack
what
on yours?
cores.
What
And
cores
what
did I stack on
techniques.
mine? And what movesets exactly did you teach that Nexomon? So the movesets matter significantly, and I think they matter even more than in Pokemon. So in Pokemon, I'm like, okay, yep, offensive moves. I'm gonna fucking
Yeah, it's true. You don't really
hit,
do. You don't really
I'm gonna
do,
get
like,
rid of
the-
all his defensive
I
bullshit
raised my
stats.
defensive stat.
But I mean,
Yeah, like okay, what the fuck does that?
like
Harden, and then you
playing
get fucking
playing
hit.
through the story that
Kakuna.
is exactly what that you always just go for the moves that do damage. If you were to go into like the battle scene of like battling other people, that's not how it is. Like you are playing mind games. You are
Yes.
you're behind the scenes
cool.
stuff.
They're swapping out Nexomon every 3rd turn, basically. And you're like, oh shit, now I've lost my type advantage. I don't want to get one-shotted by this electric Pokemon, Nexomon, because I have my water type out there. Like, so I'm constantly swapping through my team, and Nexomon like ramps up the difficulty in a way that always keeps you engaged. So eventually in Pokemon, you can get so powerful that you just run motherfucker.
Yeah.
I did not have that experience in Nexomon. Like up until And including the last battle, completing the story missions, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I'm going to win this.
Yeah.
Like, I might just lose right now. I used all but one of my health potions, every single revive, because there's different tiers of health potions. I used all of them. I used almost all my ailment potions. Like, I almost didn't survive. And like in contrast to Doom, where it like fucks you at every turn, like I barely survived Nexomon. Like that was the edge of my seat play that I was kind of looking for in Doom that I didn't get. Like I was engaged in every battle. Like, how am I going to survive this? Did I? And when I told the story last time of like how I was leveling up a bunch of Nexomon just to see what they evolved into. Like, I don't know what any of these fucking things are. I don't know which ones are better than the other. And that rarity thing ends up not mattering that much. So you can kind of like play with the Nexomon you like to play with. If you find a Nexomon you like this particular move set at X level, then you should play with that Nexomon.
Or
like
if you just like the Nexomon, because they're not that insanely different, and you could always use cores to make up that difference. If you're like, I really want this specific Nexomon. Oh, they have their attack is their weakness because it's 2 points lower than this other one. There's a core. Boom. Weakness has been solved.
And I think that the lack of like stat variety does not take away from the depth or replayability, because there's a huge variety of Nexomon, and the move sets, like Phil was already saying, is super important for the move sets that you teach your Nexomon. So I have a rock-based Tyrannosaur Nexomon, and he is one of my favorite to play with because he has a move that lasts 3 turns, and on when he does that move, he puts up a rock wall in front of him, and then it does 75% damage of whatever attack he gets attacked with. Then on the second turn, 50% damage, and then on the third attack is 25% damage. So it's a progressive reduction down of damage coming towards you.
This is not a math podcast.
Thank you.
Yes.
And also with that same Nexomon, like I can win type advantage battles with that Nexomon because of that bonus, because of that move. Like I can go against a water Nexomon because I know for 3 turns I'm going to get attacked, but it's going to do 75% less, 50% less, and then 25% less damage. So as long as I can kill that other Nexomon in that 3 turns, I'll probably be okay. And the moves that they can know, so like he is a rock Nexomon, but he can learn normal moves. So I have 1 normal move, 1 rock move, that defensive move, and then he has a healing move with him as well. So those are the 4 moves that I have on that particular Nexomon, and like that is so different from any Pokemon game I've ever played in the way that those are balanced and interact with one another. So in Pokemon, if I were to throw out Squirtle first, and then they threw out Pikachu, well, I'm fucking pulling Squirtle back. Yeah. Because he doesn't have any moves that can take down Pikachu, especially if I don't have a level advantage. So in Nexomon, it's so balanced that I can sometimes, you know, even if I'm less level, utilize Nexomon that are at a type disadvantage and still eke out a win.
Yeah.
Because you can use just the right skills, which I've done. I fought against disadvantages, and I've still been able to win due to specific techniques.
Yeah, and they took out the use of the... so in Pokemon, you have power points, which is basically like, okay, your most powerful moves you can use 5 times, and then you're fucked. So in Nexomon, each Nexomon has a stamina pool that they are drawing from. So you can use a move an infinite number of times as long as you have stamina. And the most powerful moves costs the most stamina, like as you would figure it does.
Now, I do have a question about that. In Pokemon, I'm wondering if they have anything somewhat similar, because in Nexomon, it's cool. If your Pokemon runs out of energy and then you go to use a technique, it'll say tired, and then it gains stamina back to use the next turn.
Yep.
Do they have anything like that in Pokemon? No.
You can't use a move if you have 0 power
Unless you
points.
have one of those, whatchamacallit, things that raise your power points back up.
Elixir?
Elixir.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm saying like you have potions for them, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
just as a thing in the game, if you have no stamina to do a move and you go to do it, your Nexomon is then tired and they get back
like because they rested a turn basically.
They rested a turn.
Yeah.
So there are also certain moves where you can have your Nexomon learn them that regain stamina.
Yeah.
So you might regain 100 stamina if you blow this turn on that particular move. And that's another reason why the move sets is so important. If you find a Nexomon that can regain its own stamina or health, like, damn, that thing's probably going to be pretty powerful in battle and might end up being one of your mains.
Okay, so I will admit, after all this, that
I'm not done.
Oh.
So, in that battle system, each move set has its own power, accuracy, stamina cost, speed, and critical chance listed out during the battle for you to see. And it is almost a surefire thing that if you pick a move with a high speed and your Nexomon also has a high speed, you will move first. And that's oftentimes the difference in winning or losing a battle with a particular Nexomon. Because I
mean, that's something that they do have, and like,
but they don't really list those things out as clearly.
It'll say move priority.
What's that mean?
It means if you're faster than them and you're using this, like even if you're slower than them and you use this move, you will most likely go first.
Okay, but does it list those stats in battle though in Pokemon?
It tells you in the words. Like it doesn't give you percentages.
I guess I didn't read the words.
Yes, in the words it says, you know, this move gives you like a speed advantage.
I think the stamina bar is kind of game changing though.
Yeah, I agree.
That is super cool. It's a great way, like an improvement to do that compared to Pokemon.
It's also nice because like listing those stat bumps, you can have other techniques that are like, hey, this will give you a 40% critical chance boost. So you're like, oh, my other thing is 25% critical. So now I can actually put like the numbers together in my head to be like, okay, this is a big bump instead of just like, this gives you a critical advantage. Well, what's my attack that is the most likely to crit?
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, you don't, a lot of the stuff that's out in the open in Nexomon that is part of the metagame is hidden in Pokemon, and I think that is one of the ways that Nexomon is.
I think that's what
all
is
superior to Pokemon.
Like I think, but to be honest, that's one thing that keeps people playing Pokemon is like, I still have something to learn. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess like the mystery of it. But I've played a fuck ton of Pokemon, Troy. I'm done learning. I will not learn the elemental advantages.
Yeah, you
might.
It doesn't take that long.
You might.
It really doesn't.
You don't have to dive as deep to enjoy this game.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now,
you don't have to dissect
I'm not
the frog
hearing
as deep,
any
right?
disadvantages of this game other than it's kind of a Pokemon clone.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot against Cyberpunk. We haven't heard anything against Ghost of Tsushima.
So you guys have said there's nothing bad about this game other than it's Pokemon clone. That's what you guys are saying.
I mean, for
what's
me,
bad about it? What is bad about it, guys?
Let's see.
To me, the only thing that like the music ain't that great.
I've heard the music.
Respectfully, 100%
you gave us a
disagree. I
thumbs up.
fucking love something.
Yeah, you gave us a thumbs up.
That was it was a one.
The music is bad.
Pokemon clone music.
I can have one that annoys the hell out of me. I'm still worried about it. The music. Like,
Oh, that'd be amazing.
the overworld music. There are some tracks that aren't great, but the battle music's really good. Most of the music's good. The fucking noise when you're getting your XP is annoying as hell. It's like when you get your XP. To me, it's annoying as hell.
The noise,
like an alarm clock.
The noise that gets me the most is when you're talking. Like I had to mute. Like when there's people talking but there's no voices, so it's wop, 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 or whatever. It is.
There's no voice acting in this game.
There is. Like that's the thing. Is like there's the beginning and there's parts.
Oh, there's a narrator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
have
That's different than Pokemon.
argued for years that Pokemon and Nintendo games needed voice acting.
I agree.
But what I really meant was that Pokemon needed a story that I was interested in. Because I had absolutely no problem reading this game, reading the interactions, and I think the way that they managed to make a lot of the humor land in text is so good. It's so good.
It also makes fun of Pokemon nonstop.
Yes. Yep.
Like every single trope, they hit the nail on the head every single time.
That's pretty funny.
They even make fun of the fact that your character doesn't
over there?
talk.
I'm looking up some.
He's hacking into the system.
Here, hold on. I'll look over his back. What you doing there, bud?
I'm pulling up some of the things that I've clipped from this game.
I can see. I don't know.
So
it kind of looks like porn to me.
Oh gosh.
God damn it.
Oh, it better be not be Nexomon.
So from what you guys are saying, the level system doesn't really matter because you can just add all these power-ups to them and then just make them a lot.
Well, that would be more for move sets.
Yeah.
So you only get certain moves at certain times, just like Pokemon.
Okay.
So that is a thing. Like, if you can go to a move trainer, and you can see what moves are coming up. So that's actually how I decided my ultimate team was like, okay, I'm going to take this electric Nexomon and see if he can learn the most powerful move. I'm going to take the ghost type and same thing. And then I categorize them in my Pokedex, in my box. And I categorize them as Nexomon that could learn that move and Nexomon that couldn't. So just because they couldn't learn that move doesn't mean they weren't worth using. It just means that I probably wasn't going to level them up to level 60. Because that's when they lose, like between 60 and 65 is when they learn that super powerful ultimate move.
So you could have a Nexomon that you really like and it won't be able to learn that. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't necessarily, it's not a breaking to where if they don't have that move or they don't get that specific level, because if you really like a Nexomon, there's other techniques they have and the cores can help you overcome disadvantages. If you take all the cores and just put it into your damage, you'll pop someone with a heavy attack, but then when they hit you, you'll die.
Yeah.
So it's not just you jam in cores and you're a god. It's more to overcome the disadvantage or get specific advantages to how you want this specific Nexomon to play. So you can play as the Nexomon you want.
So Phil, you're not helping the case for Ghost of Tsushima, just saying.
I know.
They're trying to go for number one.
So
here, and you're just helping them.
This is one of the things.
If Ghost is above Cyberpunk and is number 2, I wouldn't
think
be
Cyberpunk should
like
be number 3.
against it, but
I mean, I'm okay with Cyberpunk at 3.
Personally.
If you want to Ghost at 2,
I mean, I'm not opposed. I do want it at 1, but I also really like Nexomon.
We should
Nexomon
put
is above
Cyberpunk at 3.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Based on what I'm hearing, Cyberpunk has gotten a lot more negative than it has positive, unlike these other 2 games.
Yeah, we could do that.
I have heard nothing but good things about Extinction and Ghost
That's
so
not
far.
terrible, and I want to say I'm very happy that you guys have enjoyed it so much. That is good.
Yeah. And we're never saying it's a bad game.
Right.
That's not what we're doing here. All the games on this list.
I mean,
have they made some mistakes?
Except for Black Ops.
Yes.
100%. Except for
Black Ops.
All right, we're bringing it back.
No. That's it. Black Ops, first place.
All right.
Okay.
Can you make a separate category for I drunk the Kool-Aid and put Nexomon underneath it?
All right.
Are you okay with Cyberpunk being number 3?
Yeah.
You play it on
there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Now we're between Ghosts and Nexomon.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Now, with
Phil has
Ghosts,
played both.
I have played both.
yeah, he's played both. So
Now,
She's saying that's it right
that's
there.
right there, right here, Phil.
I really enjoyed both. I would need to get more of the story through Nexomon because I don't know why I didn't necessarily try to put Ghost to be in the best story because I thought we were just doing one and I'm like, yeah, it's not like, oh. Whereas, like,
I was going to say, you didn't argue for Ghost and what you were saying about the story I thought was cool.
Because, like, I thought we were just doing one. And when you had talked about, I think it was Mansions of Madness or something.
Yeah,
it was like,
Madness.
Yeah. I thought it was going to go into the game of the year. And I thought Nexomon might have been knocked off by other people. So I'm like, yeah, Nexomon should have a number 1 somewhere.
I got it.
I got it.
But the story in Ghost is insanely good, especially in the terms of the fact that, like I said, it is a standard of what the open world game should be, and then everything is done perfectly.
And it's done differently than most open world.
And it's done differently than most. And the story is incredible, especially considering the fact that, like, not extremely different ways to play it, but you could play it twice and enjoy it because they have the sub and dub. Then they have different ways to play the story with being the filters, which will change how some of the interactions go.
Yep.
Now, with the story, it really has such a good example of a character, like his arc is one of the best that's ever been developed, because he starts off as hoity-toity asshole samurai, and then he starts learning that that's not the way the world works, and he has to struggle, and you see his character break as he starts being forced to be an assassin to save his people. And I felt bad. Like the first mission when you have to go in and assassinate people, you go into a flashback teaching and how he learned to be a proper samurai, which was his mentor teaching him how to not just kill criminals. Like there was a bad guy and he was like kind of beat him because like, oh, he did this. And he's like, no, that's not how we do this. You know, you do it with honor. You look them in the eye when you kill them and let them die with honor. And he doesn't want to stab people in the back. So when he stabs a dude in the back and then falls, you can see it break his character. And then you start going through these things as he gets maybe not necessarily more depraved, but he has to go into this to save people. And then he argues with his mentor like, no, we can't do this way. Our people are dying for your stupid honor. It doesn't matter. And he's like, how can you do this? What? So you...
Viceroy.
Yeah.
How is this possible?
But we did the Triticus.
So, I mean, you've been playing in the story arc as well. I don't know where exactly you're at. Like, I'm right in the mountains right now where there's like snow and stuff.
Yeah, I made about halfway. So I saved I got back the fort and the uncle, and I'm heading north now.
Yeah, that's not too far from past where I'm at. There's some crazy story stuff I won't say.
Yeah.
But like just the things they go into, the character moments, how they make you care about side characters. And then in terms of side characters, they don't have to be involved in the main story unless you do their side missions. Like you find them, you do their side missions, and then as you do the side missions, they each have like 10 or whatever as these things that will then shape the world. And then you do things for them, and then they can talk about that stuff. Like, I haven't been doing a ton of them, and so they'll talk about like, hey, how's it been going? And it's like, I don't know. We haven't been able to find her yet because I haven't gone on the mission to find that person. So they have like these cool things of them being involved in story missions, and like I am insanely enthralled in
players to me.
Well, I don't know if they die or not.
Kill their chickens.
Also, this game is based on real history. I don't know if this actual character we play as,
it's based upon
real Pokemon. Yeah,
it is a fictionalization of real events. Jin, I think, is based upon someone who lived, but it's not Jin Sakai.
Yeah, okay.
Like I don't think their clan actually exists, but it's based upon real events.
Yeah, because there's a Mongol invasion trying to get to Japan, so they hit Tsushima first. And then this is him trying to push him back. And then there's also real places in this game that are in real life. There is a thing where this one monument was starting to crumble now, and people were playing it in the game and they learned about that. So somebody made a GoFundMe. And now they're funding to get this monument all the way over above Japan in Tsushima.
Right.
To get this monument restored and built back to how...
In real life.
In real life.
Cool. They saw it in the game.
Because they saw it in the game.
Well, I saw a GoFundMe for bringing back some of the Nexomon that died.
Yeah, do you know how many Nexomon go extinct every year?
We talked about lion, how good you're at lying before, Ryan.
So,
Nexomon.
My argument for Nexomon would be that I have not played a huge amount of the first one, but I did fire up the first one and start it. And in the first Nexomon game, which is only on PC and mobile right now, there are the starters. Obviously, you choose your starter, but the starters are the base grade evolutions of some mega rare Nexomon that you can find in Nexomon Extinction. So the implication there for people that have moved from Nexomon to Nexomon Extinction is that in Extinction, you can only find them as their most evolved form. So the implication there is that those Nexomon have all grown up and you don't find them as young anymore because they're about to go extinct. And like, that was a cool parallel between those two games.
Extinction.
That like, I thought that was kind of cool that you can get them as their most evolved form because that's how they exist now because this is so far in the future, but you cannot find them in their base forms anymore.
It's interesting.
And like,
they cannot reproduce.
Exactly.
Oh.
There's only 3.
Because you captured them. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. They're probably going extinct because you're freaking capturing
slavery.
Yeah,
it's a slavery.
I want the last one. Daddy, I want the golden.
Yeah, Ghost is first.
Why do they call it Extinction, huh?
So I think kind of when it comes to Nexomon and Ghost, they are somewhat similar in the terms that they are versions of games that have been already done, but they are much better perfected versions.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy Nexomon, but if I had to look at like going with Ghost, in terms I enjoy it more and for it being a bit more serious, it's a shockingly well done version of what's already been done, kind of what Nexomon is.
Right.
The story has been super engaging for me, and like the gameplay's wonderful because it
sounds amazing.
Like, and just the way it feels, it's one of the best hack and slashes I've ever played. Like the feel is just all there. The style is ridiculous. Like
it does tickle me the way that
like all that sounds really, really cool. I don't want to discount anything about that, but like I didn't eat or sleep or like do anything that a normal human should do.
I'm on that.
I mean, I did it for both. Like Ghost was an entire weekend.
So much Nexomon.
But you haven't had a chance to play Ghost.
I didn't. That's true.
Unlike Phil.
This is a thing that I know as being one of your best friends. There's this thing that you do.
Okay.
And so Ryan wanted to start a podcast, right? So this man went all in and hasn't stopped making a podcast. And then he played like 30 seconds of Nexomon and is like, I want to be a tamer. And he hasn't stopped.
Tamer, trainer, Nexomon, Pokemon.
But I mean, and like
podcaster.
Ryan, when Ryan does something,
podcast.
he does it to the max. Like there isn't a
Is this an affirmation circle? What's going on?
There isn't a middle ground for Ryan. Like,
that's true.
Like,
I mean,
he doesn't just kind of do it. Like I kind of play Call of Duty. He doesn't really play Call of Duty. So
or games. No, I'm kidding.
but like the things that Ryan does, he just does. You know what I mean?
100% committed. I was 100% committed to Nexomon for like 5 days straight.
Yes.
I had a week off work, 2 weeks off work.
No, that's right. Is any pod this week? No, I'm just playing crap ton of Nexomon.
Yeah,
man.
like
he's like scratching his head.
Couldn't stop.
He's like he picked up his phone, so then he got nervous.
Okay. I ignored this motherfucker. It sat next to me. And like, and when I wasn't ignoring it, I was playing Nexomon on my phone.
Nexomon is unhealthy.
Okay.
Ghost wins.
I was unhealthily addicted to this game. Like there is
the time
not
right now.
Really anything that I can say that's bad about it. Like I love the music. There are parts of this music where I was like, oh my God, like I just want to listen to these tracks. I didn't have the same hangups with the EXP stuff. Like all that sounded fine to me.
It's still just annoying.
Yeah, and even the open world stuff when I was exploring the world, like all that was good. Each section has its own particular music that I love listening to. There are 2 or 3 dungeons that you crawl that have their own specific music where I was like, this is a banger. Oh man, this music is awesome. Like,
I mean, I could definitely go forth on Ghost because that is classical orchestrated,
boring,
like samurai movie music. So it's like the intense.
I have no affinity for samurai stuff. Like I'm not into Japanese culture. I just don't
sorry, Sam.
have
No,
that.
it's into their pseudo products.
I get it. I get it. There are a lot of people who are into that, and that aesthetic sounds amazing. Like the stuff with the wind is super cool. I want to explore the world of Ghost of Tsushima, but I did explore the world of Nexomon, and I fucking loved it.
So
every single thing.
So if you had a PlayStation, would you have gotten?
I have a PlayStation.
Oh,
I played Nexomon.
PS5.
Okay.
I have a PS5.
So
I could have played Ghosts.
I have 2 things. I have one thing now, but so they've made $260,000 for that monument.
That's cool.
Over
that is
2,000
super cool.
people have donated
awesome.
to seeing that this monument was put back to thing. What has Nexomon done?
He's got a point.
No.
He's got a point.
Hold on.
Other than destroy my fucking life for 5 days.
Okay.
I do want to bring up something else that is good for me. So, as many people know, this came out right after Last of Us 2, which that game destroyed me. I was legitimately about to stop playing video games. I hated Last of Us 2
As a
that
member
much.
of a video game podcast.
Yes.
Fucking game again.
Like,
yes.
Like, I'm not even joking. That got me to the point to when I'm like, what's the point with this garbage? And then I'm like, Ghost is going to be terrible too. I'm going to put too much faith in it and it's going to be awful. And I didn't stop playing it for probably a week, if not longer. I mean, I had a stretch where I think I played it for over 15 hours.
Hang on, this isn't the most,
This is
the most unhealthy
who played the game the most,
contest.
right? But like, so your experience with Ghost then coming off of Last of Us 2 is that's my same thing with Nexomon. I've played so much Pokemon. I'm so burned out on that game type. And I was against Nexomon when Troy sent it to me. I'm like, this looks...
Why'd they have to name it after Pokemon, though?
And like
Nexomon Pokemon. That's literally
to draw me to it. Anything with a mon on it, man, I'm in.
Now,
so, like,
but not a Pokemon clone. It's fucking named after it.
Like, I would play the next Nexomon. I bought the first one on PC.
I would
want
1,000% play the next Ghost.
Oh man,
everybody's screaming for a sequel. Now, there might be only one thing that could potentially be, because we're having the similar arguments for both of these games.
I agree.
Now, the only thing I could
good
put
arguments. They're really great
would
arguments.
be at the fact that Nexomon is simpler and Ghost is more complex.
Okay.
So that it
like which style do you want to have? Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, we're battling for basically who is gonna be on top. Like, but really doesn't matter.
There's two savants.
Does it
doesn't
really
matter as
talking
long as
about
Nexomon's
Nexomon.
on top.
That's
what you're saying. You're
Rachel
saying
looked it up.
We can all be unified under me.
I just wanted to get some credit. Like,
number 2 is huge credit too.
Primarily made for like two guys. Invented Nexomon.
Yes.
Like two Pokemon fans sat down and said,
and named it after Pokemon.
What is broken about Pokemon and how can we fix it?
So all it took was two guys and basically a working body to create another working body.
Pokemon is honestly not that hard of an engine to make, though.
So without Pokemon, there'd be no Nexomon.
Yeah.
And Ghost of Tsushima was a
without open world games, Ghost of Tsushima would not exist if you want to use that.
Oh, no. That's a broad. That's
Name the game that Ghost is based off of. Is there a Ghost of Japan?
You just
Ghost of
Assassin's
China?
Creed was fucking like the main inspiration for this.
No. I did not say inspiration. I said it's like the better version of what Assassin's Creed has tried, but it's not an inspiration.
Yeah, they didn't go, hey, I see that Assassin's Creed game, I want to make that better.
Yeah, it's not Tsushima's Creed.
Okay.
For real, it's not copying the title of another game.
I guess this is subjective, but the fact that
it's all technically.
Spirits of Tsushima. That was the first one.
No.
It's off-brand.
This is an American-made game that they then brought people in and did as much respect as they possibly could.
Time out. If everybody thinks that Philip made a better argument for Ghost of Tsushima above Nexomon, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I
want Tsushima to be number 1, but as far as arguments are made,
no.
I'm just really partial to like
Japan.
I
think Phil is making good arguments.
I think
I'm sorry, but Pokemon is way too attached for me personally, it's way too attached to this game for me to.
Now, can I say
really
one more
express it
thing,
as
which
being a
is
standalone
another
thing.
thing
I'm
on
sorry,
terms?
one more thing.
The fact that it was made and people were kind of giving them some heat for it because they're like, well, you're not Japanese, so you don't know anything about culture. So they went in, they got the people, they did it right. I mean, heck, with the flute guy, and then this was one of the
wasn't Avatar American made? Wasn't Avatar American made?
Flute guy.
No, well, yeah,
and that was American and anime,
but they when it came out, it was one of the biggest games to be received in Japan, and recently has gotten the highest rating.
That's absolutely 100%.
And what's Nexomon doing in Japan?
Yeah, the origin place of Pokemon.
It's probably banned in Japan. Like, yeah, fuck that. Take it off the Nintendo store. We're worried. Shit.
Super well done. And again, like, I mean, I'd say we're probably in the same vein of like, this is in my top list of games of all time, not just the year. Like, I could probably put it in my top 3 games of all time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Nexomon's top lifestyles for like
of all time.
And it's like,
if I honestly had to say,
Pokemaster
you know what?
Troy Osborne.
This would
Do you
be
think
my
Nexomon is better than Pokemon?
I think
no.
I would say that.
Oh, fuck.
I would put this on top of any other open world hack and slash game I've ever played. It would be my number 3 game of all time. Ocarina of Time, Last of Us, and then Ghost of Tsushima would be my top 3 games of all time.
Did Pokemon win last year?
Yeah, it wasn't in there. Pokemon was number 2.
Oh wait, what did Sekiro come out?
Number 2, I think. Or wait,
I'd have to look at last year's stuff. I am not sure what won last year.
We don't really care about last year. This
Not
is 20,
sure.
21.
And I like the stuff that Nexomon does to reinvent a dead genre for me is just amazing.
That is true.
Like, I mean, I honestly would feel the same.
It's not.
Sorry.
I would honestly say the same about Ghost.
I bounced off Pokemon in like 3 fucking hours.
I know.
Like, I wanted to love it. Kennedy loves, she's beat it like 4 fucking times.
I get, like, I don't know, like, why I love it the way I do.
Pokemon's dead to me, Troy.
Ghost of Tsushima was a game
How can we be friends?
that came out of nowhere and became popular. Nexomon had to base itself off of something else in order to grow in popularity.
I mean, Ghost
fucking
is
shit on me if
one
you
of
will,
the
but
biggest new IPs ever. I mean, it was like 3 million in the first week.
But I'd say new IP, not a new. That's not from like Ghost of Tsushima did not start from the ground up as far as like all of this was innovative or inventive.
I mean, I guess
It's
some of
not
it is.
all brand new stuff they're
if
putting in
we're-
this game. It's done super, super well.
But if we're using that same terminology, Nexomon totally. I mean, like compared to Pokemon, compared to like Ghost of Tsushima,
Well, okay,
compared to the other games, it's like it's not even close.
If you're saying that, but Troy just said that Pokemon's better than Nexomon.
To me.
To him, he did not.
But he's the
Pokemaster.
He did not.
Pokemaster.
Exactly. So why the fuck? He's not the Nexomaster.
Oh, are you the Nexomaster?
Are you the Nexomaster?
I guess so. I'm the Nexomaster. I don't know.
Can't even host anymore. It's taking over his life.
Exactly. I should have been doing podcasts.
I mean,
let's bring this to a point.
Okay.
There's even still stuff
Ryan, you
I
know where
couldn't
this is going.
finalize after on
Let it
Ghost.
happen. Let it happen.
No!
Let it happen. You know. You know it must be done.
Submit.
Submit. Submit. Submit. Submit. Submit. Submit.
Cave.
I have
I'm
more to
already
say
in a
about
cave.
Ghost.
This cave is my hell.
It is good.
They're great games. These are 2 perfectly fucking games. They need to be played by everybody in the world. We get that. But as far as arguments, I think Ghost wins. I am sorry, but
Don't hate me.
I'm not making the executive decision.
The only thing
but
that
I'm
I'll say
opening
is
up
if
conversation.
we're going by what, like, if I gave Nexomon to Austin, I don't think he'd enjoy it. I don't think Sam would enjoy it. I know Phil enjoys it. I really don't think Colin.
You don't think I would enjoy it? I watched gameplay. I fucking love it. It's awesome.
Like it looks cool and it will be fun, but it's not gonna hold you like it held me and Ryan.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Late at night.
When they made the Omega Ruby fucking remake, oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
I
Are
played
you
that game
saying
like
that if
4 or
you
5
gave the
times.
3 of them Ghost
Like,
of
fuck.
Tsushima,
The
that
writing,
they'd-
but the writing in Nexomon like kept me engaged the whole time. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the
Did
writing.
it keep
in
you
Ghost.
because it's different than Pokemon?
No.
Like, haha.
No, it kept me
Pokemon
because
wouldn't
it's
have done
fucking
that.
hilarious.
It is-
and I was like,
it
I
is
want to know
legitimately-
more about this world. I want to keep exploring. I want to fucking jump up and down
And
on
they
the bar.
feel the
like,
need to
I
shit on
wanna
Pokemon
explain.
in the game.
And yeah, those are funny. Like I may have been in the past a fan of Pokemon.
Even the creators know. They're like, yeah, it's too close to Pokemon. We got to shit on Pokemon somehow.
I could also
Like,
say the
they
same
know
about
what it is.
Ghost. That's what I mean. If it's the same with the game is what keeps you going is story, and this is obviously more drama than terms of comedy, but it is it's incredibly well written, and then the emotions are brought through. Where if they weren't, this would fall flat so hard because they're going on very intense characterizations, intense emotions, and you have to go with the honor of a samurai or the dishonor of a thief, and you break that down to the point to when you understand the main character. And as again, this is a insanely good top tier arc of a main character. Nothing against the Nexomon one, but it's not, you are the main character, whereas this is an actual written arc about a character you're playing, and the arc is insanely well done, which is hard to do, where you have, again, it's an arc. It's not a you know,
there are huge character arcs in Nexomon.
Specifically the main character?
Yes, 100%. There's shit. You're gonna blow your fucking mind. You're gonna come back next week, having beat Nexomon, and be like, "We made a mistake."
I don't.
We made a motherfucking mistake.
At least you know now.
We have Phil here making an argument for Ghost, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's played Nexomon.
But he's played Nexomon too.
That's a big
big deal.
Where are you at in Nexomon?
He's got a foot in both worlds.
Where are you at in Nexomon?
He hasn't beat either.
Am past.
Shut it.
He hasn't beat either, Ryan. It doesn't matter where he's at. He hasn't beat either.
But I want to gauge where he's at so I can know what part of the story that I want to fucking spoil, because Nexomon should be game of the year.
You're doing this out of spite.
You're doing this out of spite. Don't spoil.
You know you've lost. Submit.
If you spoil it, I'm not going to want to play it.
Oh, see?
Oh, you got to ruin Nexomon for him?
I'm starting off at the Dragon Isles. Again, I really like it, but I wouldn't put it over Ghost.
And then Troy said he liked Pokemon better than Nexomon.
That's
for
a big
him,
deal.
For him. And that's a big deal, at least for me. I mean, I'm probably still going to... He gave me that gift card for PlayStation. I'm probably still going to buy Nexomon for that. I will probably end up playing it.
You haven't bought it yet?
No, I haven't even used the card yet.
Dude.
I'm still beating Assassin's Creed. I want to go back to Tsushima. I got all this other stuff that I want to play.
Nexomon's more
Finish
important than all
exploring
that.
What about to VR?
Oh my god.
Pavlov got a huge update. We got to play that.
Did
tanks. World War II update with
Nexomon
tanks.
make you cry?
Saying.
No, it made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's a different.
Was better
kind of-
laughter or
it's trying
sadness?
to do different things.
Ghost got me to cry.
Great.
I cry when I get stuck.
I don't have a heart,
am I
so I wouldn't cry anyway.
Dude, I freaking cry when I hit a yellow light too hard.
I mean, you're a baby, I guess.
Troy, you played a little bit of Nexomon. You heard the arguments for Ghosts.
Yes.
What do you think?
Honestly, like to me, like I love.
Don't go breaking my heart.
He said Pokemon was dead.
He's
Remember
trying to
that,
single.
Troy? He said Pokemon's dead.
Ryan.
Where do your allegiances lie?
Well, to be honest, like I really do want to try Ghost because of what all of the arguments have said.
Yes.
Like I've played Nexomon, and I'm definitely gonna beat Nexomon, but it's not gonna be like.
I just want you to know this is pending an invite for next week. Okay, fine. Nexomon's 2.
Destroy it.
God damn it.
Burn it.
It's still good.
It's
Number
still
2.
good. Play this game.
Take it off the top 5. Take it off the top 5.
Jesus Christ.
What we should do?
So,
I think this was the most heated debate we've ever had.
No, nobody got really triggered. Like, people got triggered, but it wasn't like,
man.
I
some
could
people
say-
have gotten triggered.
I could say maybe it's
Like,
heated in the
oh.
fact that we're actually having good arguments and not just screaming.
Yeah.
I know. Phil got a little upbeat, like worked up about Cyberpunk, though. That was
Yes,
scary.
I'm just mad because I'm disappointed.
Like
okay,
two
wait.
fucking scenarios in Cyberpunk made him lose his mind. Yes. Oh my god.
All right, Colin, give me in your best announcer voice, give me the top 5 starting at 5.
Now, featuring the top 5 Savant-worthy games. Starting at number 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Number 4, Call of Duty Warzone. Number 3, Cyberpunk 2077. Number 2, Nexomon Extinction. And number 1, Ghost of Tsushima.
Actually, it's pronounced Voho instead.
Okay, thank you everybody so much for listening. This has been Idiot Royale 2020. We appreciate you sticking with us to the end here.
I'm so
hear how
sorry,
this is gonna
everyone.
come
I know
out.
I'm about to be fired, so I won't see you again.
I think this is going to end up being like a 3-hour podcast, about the same thing as last year. Check out part 1 if you somehow made it to the end and didn't make it or didn't listen to part 1. Check out part 1. Yeah, we appreciate it. I've been your host, Ryan Wolf. Thank you, Troy, for being here. Thank you, Philip, Sam. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Colin. Thank you. We've got some big changes in store for the show. We'll hit you up with those changes probably the next episode, maybe the next couple here. We've got some things in the works.
Got some plans.
For plans that,
2021.
Fans of Crazy Train of Thought rejoice. We've got some things in the works. So
More content.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
More.
And we'll leave it at that. So see you guys later. Have a good night. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Hanukkah.
Don't
fuck off.
That too. That too.
Bye, guys.
That's all, folks.
Sam said fuck. Yay!
Suck a donkey's dick. Stop. No, listen, fucking donkey.
Someone doesn't be quiet. Just like, no, stop.
I am shitting myself.
You bring that pissing over and look at the fucking bass is fucking raw.
Fucking bass is fucking raw.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah. You, what are you doing? What the fuck is going on here? He's like literally losing his mind.
Okay, big boy, right.
And the big surprise is the fucking bass is fucking raw.
Fucking raw.
We had a guy that was from Scotland that we hired, and him and I would just fucking do Gordon Ramsay impressions all day.